Luke hits it.
Not in fair territory, in case you are hearing us now. Don't want you to be confused.
I have no idea if you guys can hear us. Let us know if you can, because then we'll start actually broadcasting.
That's right. We've got all kinds of great stuff to bring you.
Yeah, we've
As
loads of information.
Albert Lebo says, "Go Ben Wager." So the newest Stallion has a fan already. The count is 2-2 on Luke Terwilliger. As our VP of the Stallions, Scott Wickham, says, "We are on," so hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. Danny Jarebic confirms it as it's another fly ball out to center. Connor Powers settles under it and a little bit into left center and makes the catch. So 2 flyouts to Powers, and there's 2 away here in the top of the first.
Yeah, good start for Ben Wager on the mound, as he's just been pounding the zone. And fortunately, first 2 guys, both flyouts to center field. So that'll bring up the 3-hitter in the Diamond Dogs lineup, Russ Olive.
It'll bring up Russ Olive, as Kurt said. So Russ, a very dangerous man, but Wager doing a good job throwing the out so far. Nobody on base for the big righty first baseman, and he takes a fastball outside for a ball.
Yeah, Olive out of Chelmsford, Massachusetts, and he's coming off of his sophomore year at UMass Lowell.
He takes a breaking ball, called strike. First breaking ball of the summer from Ben Wager, and a good one. Backdoor called strike. Wager working from the windup here. And then he will step off. So far, 2 quick outs. If you couldn't hear us, it was 2 flyouts to Connor Powers out in center field for Mungie Rodriguez and Luke Terwilliger. As the 1-1's a fastball up and out, it's the count 2-1.
Yeah, Wager been doing a good job. Doesn't seem to be overpowering the Diamond Dogs. Just trying to pound in the strike zone, letting them hit it. And so far, it's worked out for him.
Off speed, popped up into shallow right. Going to be a long run for Pat LaGravenese. It's Luke Pedersen out from shortstop to make the catch. And a great 1-2-3 inning for the newest Stallion, Ben Wager, who gets 3 pop-ups into the outfield. And at the end of half an inning of play, scoreless here at Cantine Field, Stallions coming to hit.
And so in case you didn't hear us before, and chances are you didn't because everyone was telling us we had no sound, I am Curtis Jorgensen.
I'm Biko Scala.
And it is the Saugerties Stallions versus the Mohawk Diamond Dogs, and Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs for that. And they're off tonight on this warm summer night here at Cantine. And I'll give you the Saugerties Stallions starting lineup because you missed it before. So leading off and playing shortstop is number 3, Luke Pedersen. Batting second, playing right field, is number 23, Matt Feinstein. Batting third, playing second base, number 17, Matt Forlow. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 24, Jack Gonzalez. Batting fifth and DHing for the night is new Stallion, number 14, Clay Simmons. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 20, Tyler Kelder. Batting seventh, playing center field, number 25, Connor Powers. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 5, Pat LaGravenese. And wrapping it up in the 9 spot is the catcher tonight, number 8, Jeff Palczewski.
And as we mentioned before, but nobody heard us because the sound was out, Ben Wager is on the mound for the Stallions. It's his first outing for Saugerties this year. He's from Johnstown, New York, and coming out of his freshman year at Herkimer College, just up the road here in New York. So he's going to be a sophomore. He got a 1-2-3 inning with 3 pop-ups, and he's got the Stallions set to strike first here at Cantine tonight.
Yeah, getting a late start to his PGCBL and Stallions career, but so far been a good one through his first inning of work. Looks like he doesn't have much rust to be shaken off. And a 1-2-3 inning to start. And on the mound for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs is number 7, Joe DeSaro. And DeSaro out there out of Frankfort, New York. And he's coming off of his junior year at Southern New Hampshire.
And DeSaro, just like most of these Mohawk Valley pitchers, off to a tremendous start this summer. Mohawk Valley, the best pitching staff in the PGCBL. DeSaro no different. He's thrown 31 innings so far. He's 4-0 on the year with a 2.32 ERA. He's only given up 24 hits in his 31 innings, only walked 8 while striking out 31. So he strikes out 1 per inning on the dot and only 8 runs given up and 7 extra base hits. So DeSaro, worthy foe for the Stallions tonight. He's been terrific so far this summer. And Luke Pedersen steps into the box, takes a fastball strike from the righty.
Yeah, Luke Pedersen, the shortstop tonight out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. And he'll be going into his senior season at the University of Minnesota this upcoming year.
The 0-1 to Pedersen, popped up in foul territory off third base. Dan Deely, the Mohawk Valley third baseman, makes the catch and foul play for the first out for DeSaro.
Yeah, I don't see that a whole lot from Pedersen. Just got under the ball. Usually, even in his at-bats where he gets an out, it's at least a hard ground ball or line drive somewhere. And so just got under it a little bit on that one. And so that'll bring up the right fielder tonight, Matt Feinstein. And Feinstein out of Old Brookville, New York. And he'll be going into his junior year at Dartmouth College this upcoming season.
Fastball low. He's got a 2-0 count. Feinstein having a good summer, comes in hitting .278 with 19 RBIs and 27 runs scored. Pedersen right there with him, batting .280, 26 runs scored, and 10 RBIs. The 2-0 breaking ball called strike from DeSaro.
And bold move there from DeSaro, going down 2-0 in the count and coming at him with a breaking ball. He's got to have a lot of confidence in his off-speed stuff.
Joe DeSaro, one of the 3 Mohawk Valley all-star pitchers, as Feinstein fouls that one off into the Mohawk Valley bullpen down the right field line. So the count now 2-2 on the Stallions' right fielder. Crandell Poor and Zach Venaro are the other 2 Mohawk Valley pitchers that were starters, as they're the only team in either division of the league to send 3 pitchers to the game, as Feinstein checks his swing on the breaking ball in the dirt. And the count now full at 3-2.
Yeah, pitching been a serious strength for Mohawk Valley. I mean, they get it done on the offensive end too. But when you pitch really well every night, always gives you a good shot to win, and that's why their record is what it is.
Feinstein absolutely rips that one, but straight at Alexis Mungie Rodriguez at short. So Feinstein able to handle the payoff pitch well. Unfortunately for him, just straight at Rodriguez.
Yeah, so unlucky hit there for Feinstein. Can't be too unhappy with that one. He looks frustrated as he's heading back to the dugout, as many players would be. But if he keeps hitting like that the rest of the night, some of them are bound to fall. And so that'll bring up the next Matt in this Stallions lineup, Matt Forlow, the second baseman out of Cold Spring, New York. And he's coming off of his senior season at Manhattan College.
DeSaro winds and delivers the 0-1, breaking ball fouled straight back, and the count quickly 0-2. Forlow, the only Stallion batting over 300, besides Avery Short and Mark Meyer, who have a combined 4 at-bats. Forlow comes in hitting 300 with 10 runs scored and 6 RBIs. 0-2, ground ball to second base, fielded by Joe Engel, thrown on to first in time, so 1-2-3 inning for Joe DeSaro. And at the end of 1 full inning of play, no hits for either team, no score. We're heading to the bottom of the second here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, and so that's it for the first inning. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm wearing this hat that I'm wearing.
Oh, you're actually going to explain yourself.
Yeah, I figured I'd let the mystery live on for a little bit. But you got to explain yourself at some point. And so I'm wearing this hat because it could be, in fact, one of yours. And I don't know why that has anything to do with why I'm wearing it, but it just seemed like a good idea.
I think he just thinks he looks cool. I got to tell you what.
I mean, I do think I look pretty cool. And so there's that, too. But it could be one of yours. We do a promotion every night. And if you comment on this Facebook post, then you have the chance to win this. Me and Biko chose a predetermined number before the game, and if you are that number comment, then you will win this. I see Anna Turner saying you guys are frozen, and that's very unfortunate. And she was actually the winner last night of the Roll Pony shirt. I don't even know if she knows that, so hopefully she can hear me right now. And so she won for the comment. Who has pitched so far tonight?
It's a great comment.
Last night. And
anything could win it.
Ended up getting her a free shirt.
Anything could win it.
And so anybody who's watching right now, just comment on this post, and you have the shot to win this awesome bucket hat. It makes me look cool, so it can definitely make you look cool.
It's a great point.
And so just comment, and while you're at it, if you want to like and share this post, get us a little more exposure, that would be fantastic, and you could look as good as I do right now.
Or even better, I'd say. Probably better. You probably look better than Kurt.
It's debatable.
I mean, he is rocking the Stallions hat under the bucket hat. So
yeah,
that's
the Stallions hat into
that's
bucket
a decision
hat,
that he made.
into headset. It's
Yeah.
a real classic look. And so just comment, like, and share, and this hat could be yours.
Clay Koninsky steps into the box against Ben Wager and takes a fastball high. Koninsky behind the plate doing the catching duties tonight for Mohawk Valley. And he takes off-speed low, so the count 2-0 on Koninsky.
Yeah, Koninsky, the catcher tonight out of Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. And he'll be going into his junior year at Monmouth University this upcoming season.
Fastball just a little high there from Wager. It's his first 3-ball count of the night as he's in a 3-0 hole against the leadoff batter of this inning. So far, him and Joe DeSaro have both faced the minimum, 3 batters each. Looking at the replay, that one was awfully close. The 3-0 fastball, same spot. Koninsky thought it was a strike, but then he will trot on down to first. So it's a 4-pitch walk to the Diamond Dogs catcher, and leadoff man is on here in the top of the second.
I tell you what, Beeks, Wager, if he is missing on these pitches, he's not missing by much. Just has to get it over the plate by maybe another ½ inch, and he'll be absolutely painting the corners. And so that one, he didn't get the calls. But if he can adjust a little bit, he can be in line for a real good night.
Tim Zhang steps to the plate. He takes a fastball high.
Yeah, Tim Zhang, the left fielder tonight out of Lumberton, New Jersey. And he'll be going into his junior year at Fairfield University this upcoming season.
Koninsky over at first. Not a big threat to steal. Only 1 for 2 on the year in attempts. As the fastball in is the 6th ball in a row for Ben Wager to start off the top of the second. He didn't even have any 3-ball counts in the first. He comes set, and he'll come home. The 2-0 fastball high, and the count now 3-0 to Zhang.
And I just want to give a quick little shout out here as I see Anthony Rocco is in the comments tonight. He's saying, "What's up, fellas?" and asking if we miss him. And we do miss you a lot, Anthony. Anthony, pitcher on the Stallions last year, one of the better ones. He's a lefty, and he actually signed a professional contract with a team in Texas very recently, so he's way down south, and I wish him the best of luck. We do miss you a lot, Rocco.
Yeah, I love you, Rocco, and as Kurt said, one of only 3 Stallions to sign a professional contract after that summer, as the 3-1's outside and will go off the glove of Paul Chesky. So 2 walks to start off the top of the second here for Wager. And just like that, it's first and second for the third baseman, Dan Dealey.
Yeah, so after a pretty smooth first inning, Wager having a little trouble getting the ball over the plate. And second baseman, Matt Forlow, and catcher Jeff Palczewski coming out to have a little chat with him. It is, in fact, his first appearance as a Stallion, as Biko said before. So maybe he could be a little nervous, or, you know, a lot of these guys haven't pitched all summer, so they could be shaking off some rust. But right now, not a great situation he's in. First and second now with no outs. And the 6th hitter, Dan Dealey, stepping up to the plate.
Dealey only a .238 hitter. We'll see if he's bunting here first and second and nobody out. He's swinging away and fouls it off first base side. And just misses a car on Washington Avenue. That was close to hitting that silver Jeep.
Pretty close to a passing by car.
Dealey also with 17 runs, 2 homers, and 19 RBIs on the year. Zhang over at first, a .304 hitter, 29 runs, 3 homers, and 19 RBIs. As the 0-1 is high. And Koninsky on second, a .321 hitter, 27 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 31 RBIs.
And Dan Dealey at the plate, coming a whole long way to play in the PGCBL. He is out of Sonoma, California. And he's coming off of his junior year at Sacramento State University. And so he decided to go West Coast to East Coast to play a little summer ball here for the Diamond Dogs.
Wager comes set, and he'll come home, the 2-1. Fastball misses up, and the count now 3-1. So 3 straight balls now from Wager after getting the foul ball to start off the count from Dealey. He's 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded with nobody out for Ben Porter, the center fielder who is in the on-deck circle. The 3-1 fouled off of Dan Dealey's foot to Tyler Kelder over at third base. So the count now full at 3-2.
And it's really unfortunate that that did go off his foot for the Stallions, as it was a tailor-made triple play ball. Looked like Kelder could have stepped on third, fired it over to second, and possibly whipped it all the way around to first for a triple play. But unfortunately, foul ball as soon as it hit his foot. And so Wager is going to have to get 3 more outs the hard way.
Yeah, triple play would have been just what the doctor ordered here. Here's a payoff pitch, first and second, nobody out. Fly ball out into center field. Connor Powers will make the catch on the run for a big first out here in the top of the second. So Mohawk Valley has him swinging and end up losing an out on it.
Yeah, it's not quite a triple play, but it did do the job. Got the first out of the inning. And, yeah, as you said, Beeks, questionable call not to call for the bunt there, as it was first and second, no outs. Usually that's almost not really a no-brainer, but more times than not you'll see the coach bunt him over, so you have second and third with 1 out. And so they did lose the out there, and Ben Porter stepping up to the plate, going to have to knock him in with a base hit. And Porter out of Newton, Massachusetts. And he's coming off of his sophomore season at Columbia University.
He rips that first one foul down the third baseline. Straight over the head of the Mohawk Valley third base coach, who is still as a stone over there on third. And the 0-1 outside, so the count now 1-1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of foul balls are headed his way. That Diamond Dogs coach over at third base, a statue.
It's one of the things I admire most about him.
That, along with his luscious beard. Always a sight to see.
High fly ball into right. Matt Feinstein will make the catch. Koninsky threatens to tag, and he's going to be doubled off. Great throw by Matt Feinstein. Straight to Luke Pedersen, who turns around and makes the tag on Koninsky. So just like that, the old 9-6 double play gets Ben Wager out of trouble, and on 2 walks, 1 man left on base at the end of 1.5. We're headed to the bottom of the second, still scoreless here at Cantine Field.
And a devastating mistake there by Koninsky, as he was just trying to prompt a strong throw from Feinstein all the way to third base. And fortunately, Pedersen cuts it off, and it ended up turning into a double play, killing a possible rally for the Diamond Dogs. And so from first and second, no outs, they end up not moving any runners past that point. And so a real missed opportunity there for Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out. He gets the fly out to left and then the fly out to right. Now, all 6 of his outs, even though one of them was a double play on fly ball. So Ben Wager, after having a little scary start to the inning, able to get out of it with no harm done. He continues to get the fly ball out. And as we head to the bottom of the second inning, we'll address some of the comments, as we've had a lot of great ones.
Yeah, well, people real talkative here tonight. Can't even get to them all.
One of mine that I love to see is Madison Elizabeth Seacott. Says, my favorite announcers, I'm actually finally in New York passing Saugerties now. Madison, I mean, you should take exit 20, yeah.
Absolutely, exit 20 off I-87.
There you go.
Swing on by. It's about a 3 or 4 minute drive off the exit. It's definitely worth it to come down and check out the Stallions. I know your brother is on the Glens Falls Dragons, so you might not feel right doing that. But
1 day late for Glens Falls here.
Yeah, you might be able to meet some of your favorite announcers. We would be happy to come talk to you. But If you can't, then we're just as happy having you just listening to us. And so we really appreciate that from you. Also, Eric Schuer, the dad of one of the relief pitchers here for the Stallions, Ian Schuer, saying good evening, Kurt and Biko.
Good evening, Eric.
Good evening, right back at you, Eric.
Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast.
Donnie Haberski saying shout out to the Saugerties youth hockey players in attendance tonight. Thank you, Stallions. And all the players on that team actually got to accompany the Stallions as they were running out to their positions prior to the national anthem. And so Stallions honoring that team tonight, as I believe they won.
I think, did they win? I heard they got a
silver medal
at the Empire State Games up in Albany.
So congratulations to them. Put in a lot of work at Kiwanis Ice Arena, which is just down the road here from Cantine Field. And so congratulations to them. We're going to get back to some baseball activities starting the bottom of the second between the Saugerties Stallions and the Diamond Dogs. Jack Gonzalez stepping up to the plate for the Stallions. And he is out of Orlando, Florida, coming off of his sophomore season at Stetson University down in Florida.
It's a quick 0-2 count on Jack as he fouls the first one back over our broadcast booth and then takes a called strike. The 0-2 fastball misses outside, and the count now 1-2. Gonzalez comes in hitting .268, 23 runs scored, 1 home run, and 26 RBIs, a team high for the Stallions. The 1-2 is high, and the count now 2-2 on Saugerties' cleanup man. Gonzalez has been the man in the cleanup spot basically all year long for Saugerties. The 2-2 popped up in the infield foul territory. Long run for the third baseman, Dan Dealey, and he is going to watch it fall just out of play. So Gonzalez stays alive there as the foul ball lands just out of play, just out of Dan Dealey's reach. He'll get the 6th pitch of the at-bat coming from Joe DeSaro.
Yeah, good job there from Gonzalez, just shortening up his swing and able to get bat on ball and stay alive, see another pitch.
That next pitch, though, a nasty breaking ball from Joe DeSaro, gets the first strikeout of the game for either team as Gonzalez goes down swinging.
So tough AB for Gonzalez. And so that'll bring up the DH tonight, number 14, Clay Simmons, in his first at-bat as a Stallion, newly recruited out of Marshall University. He'll be going into his senior season there next year. And also, before that, played at the University of South Florida before transferring to Marshall, coming out of Center Hill, Florida.
Clay fouls his first pitch of the summer off of Clay Koninsky behind home plate. So the count 0-1. Simmons comes out to Blitzkrieg Bop. Love to see that.
It's a good choice.
The wind and delivery from Joe DeSaro. A sharp breaking ball called straight, count 0-2.
So he's quickly down in the count. We'll see how he can adjust here with 2 strikes. DeSaro working very quickly.
That breaking ball drifts low and away, so the count now 0-2. Or 1-2, sorry. All right, Kurt DeSaro getting on the rubber and delivering home immediately as it's a fastball fouled off. Count will stay 1-2.
So another foul ball there from Clay Simmons. Just trying to stay alive here against DeSaro.
Great eye there. Another sharp breaking ball. Simmons lays off it, so the count now even at 2-2. The 2-2. Swing and a miss on a fastball. DeSaro blew it by him. So 2 strikeouts here for Joe DeSaro to start out the bottom of the second.
Yeah, so tough AB there from Simmons, but he goes down swinging, so that'll bring up the 6th hitter in the Stallions lineup, number 20, Tyler Kelder. And Kelder out of Kingston, New York, about a 20-minute drive south of Saugerties. So he didn't have to travel too far from home to play some summer ball. And he's coming right out of high school. Will be a freshman at St. Bonaventure University this upcoming year.
Kelder takes the breaking ball low, count 1-0. He comes in hitting .286 with 10 runs scored, 3 home runs, a team high, and 20 RBIs. As that fastball misses low, so the count now 2-0 on Kelder. His .286 batting average, also second highest on the team. It's been a very impressive showing so far from Kelder this summer, just coming off his senior year in high school, as Kurt mentioned.
Absolutely, and something else I noticed last night as we were broadcasting when they were playing the Glens Falls Dragons is that Tyler Kelder so far, with a whole bunch of at-bats, he's played nearly every game since he's been on the roster, and he only has 1 walk on the year compared to most guys up in the double digits. He does not like taking pitches. If it's in the zone, he tends to be hacking at it, and it's been working out pretty well for him so far as he is leading the team among qualifying hitters in batting average.
Big swing and a miss on the 2-1, so the count now 2-2.
So another Stallion down to 2 strikes. We'll see if Kelder can put one in play here, avoid DeSaro striking out the side here in the bottom of the second.
The wind and delivery. Fastball swing and a miss. DeSaro does just that. 3 swinging strikeouts from Stallions. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, still scoreless here at Cantine Field between the Stallions and the Diamond Dogs. We're headed to the top of the 3rd inning here at Cantine Field.
So after 2 full innings, still 0-0 here. And I'll just take this quick time to do a little plug. If you are a business owner, or if you in fact own a business, whichever one, you can contact the Stallions about possibly sponsoring for them. It's a great opportunity to get some exposure. There's a whole lot of opportunities. You can either make a sign to put somewhere around the stadium or sponsor a play that we will then mention on the broadcast, where we get thousands of views here on Facebook. And we got Matt Pouchard here, the Stallions, well, pretty much utility man, mostly closer though. He got the save last night against the Glens Falls Dragons. He wants to stop by and say hi. What's up, Matt?
It's going good, Matt. It's going good.
Just trying to stay busy until he's needed later on in the game. And so yeah, if you would like to sponsor for the Stallions, get in contact with us in any way. You can comment on this Facebook post. You can DM them on Facebook. I believe if you go to saugertiesstallions.com, there will be an email address or a phone number you can call, and you can contact us about that, and we will figure it out in any way possible.
So Jeff Polcheski throws on down to second. We're just about ready to get the top of the 3rd underway. I tell you what, if there was like a frequent flyer thing for whoever comes up to the booth most, I think it's Matt Pouchard.
Oh, Matt Pouchard loves seeing what's going on here, and
Nick
crime
Massa
doesn't pay broadcast booth.
Yeah, that's right. Andrew Taft, they're pretty frequent as well, but
Pouchard
takes the cake.
Really enjoys his broadcasters, and we really enjoy having him up here with us.
Austin Pollock, the right fielder, steps into the box against Ben Wager, who's so far thrown 2 scoreless in his Stallions debut.
And Austin Pollock out of Harrison, New York. And he's going to be going into his senior season at Hofstra University this upcoming year.
Comes in hitting .301, 23 runs scored, 1 home run and 23 RBIs. So 23 runs and 23 RBIs so far. A great start to the season for Pollock as takes a breaking ball called strike. And the count now 1-2 on the right fielder. The 1-2, ground ball up the middle, fielded by Luke Pedersen, and thrown across in time. So that's the first ground ball out of the night for Ben Wager. And it'll bring up the 9-hitter second baseman Joe Engel.
Yeah, nice pitch by Wager there. Just looked like he caught him on the inside, jammed him a little bit. And that's really all Pollock could do with it. And as Biko said, Joe Engel stepping up to the plate out of Downers Grove, Illinois. And much like the 7-hitter Ben Porter, he's coming out of the University or Columbia University, and he'll be going into his junior year there.
Takes some serious brain power to attend Columbia University.
Absolutely.
It's a line drive out into right field. There's a base hit. So that's the first hit of the night for either team. And Joe Engel, the 9-hitter, on first with one away to flip the order over for Alexis Mungie Rodriguez, the shortstop.
Yeah, as you said, Biko, a serious pitching duel going on through the first 2 innings. First base hit coming right now in the 3rd. And we'll see what the Diamond Dogs can do with it. They had 2 runners on last inning and weren't able to cash in. And with 1 out now, we'll see if they try some funny business on the bases and try to get somebody in scoring position for their leadoff guy.
It's a chopper up the middle, fielded by Pedersen on a dive. He flips, glove flip to Forlow, throw on to first, not in time. What an unbelievable play by Luke Pedersen, Matt Forlow. And they just barely missed getting Mungie Rodriguez on the wrap.
That was probably one of the coolest plays I've ever seen in real life, Beeks, as that one looked like it was going to be a base hit up the middle from Mungie Rodriguez. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Luke Pedersen comes in and doesn't even bother putting the ball into his glove or into his throwing hand, just flips it up from the ground to Matt Forlow, who barehands it and fires it over to first. And unfortunately, Mungie Rodriguez just a little too quick for the Stallions to cash in on the double play. Tommy Whitaker out there just furious about it. He wants that amazing, probably SportsCenter top 10 play to be completed, and he does not get the call he's looking for. But either way, to get that first out, an absolutely incredible play there by Luke Pedersen and Matt Forlow.
You're right, Kurt. That's really as good as it gets. I mean, that was unbelievable.
I really haven't seen anything like that in real life.
It'll be Luke Terwilliger with Mungie Rodriguez on first now to hit. He's also 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to center, just like the Diamond Dogs shortstop, who's now on first on the fielder's choice. First pitch from Wager, breaking ball, big swing and miss from Terwilliger, who was well out in front of it. So the count 0-1. Mungie Rodriguez 5 for 5 on the year in stolen base attempts, so he can run. He replaces Joe Engel, who is 3 for 4. And he takes off. It's a ground ball to short, fielded by Pedersen on the backhand. Long throw across the diamond in time. And Ben Wager able to get out of it on 1 hit, 1 man left on for Mohawk Valley. And at the end of 3 full innings of play, still scoreless here at Cantine Field as Ben Wager comes and gives Luke Pedersen a big high five. Thanks him for that one.
And he seriously deserves it. Wager throwing the outs, but they're tough outs. And Pedersen coming up clutch and giving him some serious defensive help.
Kurt, that was really, I mean, I can't say it enough. He was full extension, laid out, and as he was fielding it, just flipped it, no look into the air. Matt Forlow barehands it.
I was expecting him just to settle for the 1 out, maybe put it, into his throwing hand and just toss it up there to Forlow. And it was all one smooth motion. I mean, ball was in his glove, and then all of a sudden it was out, up in the air for Forlow to snag.
And it was immediately barehanded out of the air, and a great throw to first. It was a bang-bang play.
Like I said, Mungie Rodriguez, just a hair too fast for him. But either way, seriously incredible play. Like I said, if SportsCenter is watching, you definitely have a contender for one of your top 10 plays. I don't know if SportsCenter is watching. They probably aren't. But you never know, just in case.
That's a great point. We know some people who used to work for SportsCenter, so maybe we'll send it to them up at Syracuse and see what we can do.
It would be whole lot better if the second out was made. But either way, still a really
unbelievable play.
Yeah.
So the Stallions will try and break this game open. They have been yet to figure out a way to even get on base against Joe DeSaro, who's thrown 2 perfect innings. The first inning getting 3 outs the old-fashioned way, and then getting 3 strikeouts in the second inning. He's been phenomenal. It's going to be 7, 8, 9 for the Stallions. Connor Powers, Pat LaGravenese, and Jeff Polcheski here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, so stepping up is Connor Powers. He's a center fielder tonight out of Rockville Center, New York. And he'll be going into his senior season at the University of Albany this upcoming year.
Powers takes a fastball high, so the count 1-0. He was playing a lot earlier in the year and then was sidelined for almost a month and now is back. So he's only had 36 at-bats. He's batting .194.
Yeah, I believe he had a groin injury that sidelined him for about 3 weeks, and then he was about ready to come back, Beeks, and actually slammed his thumb, his right-hand thumb, in a car door. And so that sidelined him for another week as he was recovering from that. He couldn't even swing a bat. And so now he's finally able to come back for the Stallions, and just in time as they lost their everyday center fielder, Nick Campana, to an injury. He recently had to go home. And so they need some guys to fill in, and fortunately Powers coming back just in the nick of time.
It's a 2-1 count on Connor. DeSaro winds and delivers. Breaking ball, Powers shows bunt but pulls back to take a ball low, and the count now 3-1. It's only the second 3-ball count of the night for DeSaro. (3-1) swing and a foul back, fastball around the letters. So the count now full at 3-2.
Powers coming into this game batting just under the Mendoza line, 194. But as Biko said, only 36 at-bats. So he doesn't have as large of a sample size for his batting average as many of the other players.
Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball up and out, so it's a walk, the first base runner of the night for the Stallions. And with nobody out and a man on first, it'll bring up Pat LaGravenese, the left fielder.
And so that's the first base runner here for the Stallions tonight. And hopefully they'll be able to cash in and break out to a lead. As Biko said, LaGravenese, the left fielder at the plate right now out of St. James, New York. And teammates with the man over on first base, Connor Powers, who will be going into his senior season at Albany. And LaGravenese, a year younger, going to be a junior at the University of Albany this upcoming year.
He shows bunt and pulls back to take a fastball high. Dan Dealey has gotten the scouting report on Pat, who can lay beautiful bunts down the third base line. He's playing well in off third.
Yeah, LaGravenese had a bunt for a base hit last night. He was 4 for 4 in getting on base, got walked twice, and had 2 singles, and one of them was a beautiful bunt down the third base line. He beat out pretty easily. And so he's got the speed to do it. And third baseman on the Diamond Dogs, Dan Dealey, knows that as he is playing well in front of third base over there.
And Powers over on first base does have speed as he's the Stallion center fielder, but he has not attempted a stolen base this year. Now, as we mentioned, he's been hurt for the majority of it. Here's the 2-0 to Pat. He shows bunt again and takes a breaking ball for a ball. Count now 3-0 to LaGravenese. Pat comes in hitting .242 with 14 runs scored and 2 RBIs on the year.
And so 3-0, and with Powers walking before him, we might see a take here from LaGravenese. Try to force him to come all the way back.
It is a fastball called strike. So the count now 3-1.
Now here again, DeSaro, I mean, he hasn't been completely losing it. I mean, he's been fine in the zone all night, but you still might want to make him earn this at bat, and it's got to be perfect here for LaGravenese.
It's a fastball low, so another walk. And just like that, Stallions have first and second and nobody out for their catcher, Jeff Polcheski.
And so if Tommy Whitaker was considering bunting LaGravenese with Powers on first, now with runners on first and second and no outs, and Polcheski being the 9-hitter, and Luke Pedersen, one of the Stallions All-Stars, coming up next, it's very likely we may see a bunt here out of Polcheski.
Yeah, I agree, Kurt. We saw Mohawk Valley in the same situation in the top of the second inning, and they decided not to bunt, ended up getting a fly out and then a fly out double play, and they spoiled their first and second no-out situation.
Yeah, so hopefully Tommy Whitaker will learn from that. I mean, he probably has full confidence that Polcheski can get a hit, but just thinking baseball-wise, it makes sense right now to put one down and get runners in scoring position for the top of your lineup. And so a quick chat from the Diamond Dogs head coach with DeSaro, and he takes the slow walk back to the dugout, and we're ready to start baseball again. Polcheski out of West Seneca, New York, and he played last year at the University of Buffalo, but I believe he's found a new home because Buffalo recently cut their baseball program. Not exactly sure where he's decided to go, but it will not be at Buffalo anymore. Along with other Stallions teammate Andrew Taft. Taft decided Lemoyne was his new home.
Polcheski showing bunt. Takes a fastball called strike. He shows again, and he gets a bunt down the first base line. Russ Olive fields it and will tag out Jeff, but it's a successful sacrifice as he's able to get a high fastball down the first base line. And it's second and third, one out for the top of the order, and Luke Pedersen.
Yeah, Polcheski getting tagged out as fast as I've ever seen a runner be tagged out on the first base line. But doesn't matter because he did his job. That's exactly what they were looking for. Move the runners over. And now Luke Pedersen stepping up to the plate with 2 runners in scoring position.
Luke 0 for 1 today with a pop out in foul territory to Dan Dealey over at third base.
Pedersen coming into this game batting .280 for the Stallions. He only has 10 RBIs to his 26 runs, so scores more runs than he hits in.
It's a swing and a miss on a fastball that bounces on home plate, but the ball actually bounces out of play. And just like that, Saugerties takes a 1-0 lead. Connor Powers will score the first run of the night. And Pat LaGravenese will head on over to third base on the swinging strike.
Yeah, it was not the greatest pitch to swing at for Pedersen, but who knows, maybe he was thinking that he could deceive the catcher and got by him for the Stallions' first run of the game. And they are still threatening with 1 out, man on third. All Pedersen's really got to do is put it in play. They have their third baseman in.
It's a fly ball out to Ben Porter in center. LaGravenese will tag. The ball is caught. The throw from Porter is going to be cut off. LaGravenese slides in safely as the throw from Dan Dealey not in time. So Pedersen gets the job done. The sac fly out to center field, and Stallions take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Stallions to get those 2 runs, playing a lot of small ball tonight, and it's working out well for them. As they took the 2 walks to get the first 2 guys on, but then Jeff Polcheski sack bunting him over, and Luke Pedersen for the second run, sack fly. So giving up 2 outs, but they get 2 runs in return.
It'll bring up the 2-hitter Matt Feinstein, their right fielder. He's 0 for 1 with a line out to short as he ripped the 3-2 straight to Mungie Rodriguez last at bat, and he takes off speed for a called strike.
Yeah, Feinstein, one of the better players here on the Stallions so far this year. He's got 27 runs, which is good for 16th in the whole PGCBL. And if you've got that many runs, that means you get on base a whole lot, which is what you love to see out of your 2-hitter.
Feinstein takes a huge hack there at the 0-1 breaking ball. Actually drops down to 1 knee after it. So the count now 0-2 as he fouls it off.
Yeah, trying to do a little Adrian Beltre there. And didn't quite work out for him.
It's one of the more impressive things in baseball when Adrian Beltre drops to 1 knee and hits a mammoth home run.
Yeah, it's really quite a sight to see. Matt Feinstein trying to replicate that there.
High fastball, Feinstein doesn't bite. Andrew Jones in his prime used to do that very well too. He would swing and have his face in the dirt while the ball's heading into the upper deck out in Atlanta. As the 1-2 breaking ball swing and a miss, so DeSaro gets the swinging strikeout of Feinstein, but the damage is done. No hits, 2 runs scored for Saugerties. They take a 2-0 lead heading into the top of the 4th inning here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
So we'll take this time to explain why I'm wearing this bucket hat on my head.
That's a great idea, Kurt.
And so I'm wearing this bucket hat because this is our promotion tonight. We had a very popular promotion when we were first doing our Facebook Live, and then stopped when we were doing the radio broadcast because you can't see what we're giving away.
That's right.
But now that we're back on video, we also have our promotion, And tonight we are giving away this great bucket hat, Saugerties Stallions. It will make you look super stylish for all your friends. And all you got to do to win it is comment on this Facebook post. You can comment anything about the game.
Where you're from.
Yeah, where you're from. Something about Bico would be awesome.
Yeah, compliments for me. That's pretty cool if you want to go that way.
Or insults, that would make me laugh. Whatever you got brewing up there in the old noggin of yours.
I would love for Eric Schuer to go after Kurt's outfit tonight.
Well, whatever you got for us, we'd love to hear it. And it'll also give you a chance to win this awesome bucket hat. And while you're at it, if you want to like and share this Facebook post, that would be fantastic. Stallions only in their 3rd year of existence in the PGCBL, and so we're trying to get as much exposure for them as we can. And liking and sharing this broadcast will definitely help us do that.
And one thing I think it's important to mention is you do not have to wear a baseball hat on top of a bucket hat. That's a decision Kurt has made tonight.
I think it's a good decision Kurt has made tonight.
Yeah.
But it is worth pointing out that not everybody can rock this look like I can. And
yeah,
so
you could say that.
So you can just wear the bucket hat if you so choose to do.
As we get back to the ball game here, and we'll let Kurt think he's rocking something here.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Wager in his 4th inning of work as a Stallion will face 3-4-5 here in the top of the 4th. Russ Olive, the first baseman, takes a fastball strike from Wager. So far, Olive has popped out to short in his first at-bat as that one bounces in the dirt. The 1-1 to Olive. Breaking ball, broken bat, bouncer up the middle. Pedersen gets it on a couple hops, throws to first in time. And Luke Pedersen and Connor Powers really making all the outs tonight, basically.
Yeah, the last 3 outs have all come from putouts by Luke Pedersen.
The last 4 outs, actually, if you count the...
Oh, yeah, prior to Joe Engel's single.
That's right.
Austin Palick also grounding out to Pedersen.
That's something else.
And so stepping up to the plate is the catcher tonight, Clay Kaninsky. He is 0 for 0 with a walk in his last at-bat.
Kaninsky ended up getting doubled off second on the flyout to Matt Feinstein and right, where Kaninsky faked like he was going to tag for third, but faked a little too hard, and he was caught off the bag. As the breaking ball is a called strike, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, Kaninsky, not so much known for his base running, but he is one of the more deadly hitters on the Diamond Dogs. He's coming into this game batting .321, which is good for 18th in the whole PGCBL. And he's also tied for 6th with 43 hits. And there's a whole bunch of other stats that he is towards the top 15 to 20 in the PGCBL. So really solid season for him. But he's down 1-2 now on Ben Wager.
Yeah, the count now 2-2 as that one breaks in the dirt. And I just did the math, Kurt. If you count out Pedersen tagging Kaninsky on the double play coming in from Feinstein, Pedersen and Powers have recorded 9 of the 10 outs for the Stallions so far tonight, as that one's ripped up the middle and will be a base hit. So the 2-2 count out to Powers in center. It's the second hit of the night for Mohawk Valley, and they have Kaninsky on first with 1 away.
Yeah, that one hit a little too hard for Pedersen to get anywhere near. And so up now is the left fielder Tim Zhang. He is also 0 for 0 on the night, as he came in the only 2 walks by Ben Wager right in a row with Kaninsky and Zhang in their first times up at the plate.
Fastball called strike outside corner, so the count now 0-1 on Zhang.
And Zhang coming into this game, also a very solid season for him, batting .304 through his 102 at-bats.
He pops one up, foul down the third base line, out of place. The count quickly 0-2 on Zhang. You're right, Kurt. He's had a terrific summer so far in the PGCBL, one of the Diamond Dogs to make the prospect game for his play out in right field and his hitting.
And Zhang with 29 runs and 19 RBIs on his stat line, so he tends to do it all.
Tries to check his swing on the fastball up, and it is ruled that he did check his swing by the second base umpires. The count now 1-2 on Zhang.
So not a huge lead by Kaninsky over there on first base. Doesn't want to give any more any more free outs away.
Breaking ball in the dirt, but Zhang does not bite. So the count now 2-2. Kaninsky over on first base, one of the all-stars for Mohawk Valley, as he made it for his catching. Him and Austin Pollock, the only two hitters to make the all-star team, along with their three pitchers that I mentioned earlier, as the 2-2s low and in, so the count now full at 3-2. Kaninsky leads off first, one out here in the top of the fourth inning, 2-0 Stallions. Here comes the payoff pitch to Tim Zhang, fastball way up, so Zhang still 0 for 0 with his second walk of the night. And it'll be first and second for the third baseman, Dan Deely, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to Powers in center.
And those are Zhang's 19th and 20th walks on the season. And as Biko said, Deely stepping up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And Deely has a nickname here tonight, and that nickname is the K-Man. Very popular promotion by the Stallions. If he strikes out, anybody who is of age can get 2-for-1 beers over at the watering trough.
He flies one out to Powers in center. Long run, but Connor makes the catch in right center. And there are 2 outs. So the K-Man does not deliver a strikeout, but he does deliver an out, his second fly out to Powers of the night. That'll bring up Ben Porter. Ben, the center fielder, who flew out to Matt Feinstein, which turned into a double play to end the second inning.
Yeah, real lucky play back in the second for the Stallions, as the Diamond Dogs were seriously threatening. First and second, no outs. And that one kind of killed the rally, but now they have first and second, 2 outs. And a single here from Porter will likely score someone, and now a single will definitely score someone, possibly 2, as that wild pitch will move both the runners over.
Yeah, that one, a fastball, bounced right on home plate. Polcheski had no shot at it. It bounced right over his head, and he was just able to catch it on one hop behind the plate. So now it's second and third and 2 away with a 1-0 count on Porter.
Also making it a tougher play for all the infielders, as they could have gone to any base before, and now they're going to have to go across the diamond over to first.
Breaking ball called strike there, though, from Wager, and the count now 1-1. Gravenese playing pretty far back and left, but Powers and Feinstein playing even, if not a little up in center and right. The 1-1 popped up behind home plate, might be in fair territory. A long run for Jeff Polcheski by the dugout over on the first base side, and it will land right on top of the Diamond Dogs dugout. And the count now 1-2.
Yeah, a few of the players sitting just outside the dugout having to run out of the way of Polcheski. But fortunately for everyone, it was just a little too far into foul play. And so Ben Porter going to get another shot here against Ben Wager.
Wager trying to keep his 2-run lead intact as the Stallions just scored 2 in the bottom of the third. Diamond Dogs threatening with second and third and 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 from Ben Wager. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Wager able to get out of it. His first strikeout as a Stallion, a big one. And on 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 men left on base, and no runs across at the end of 3.5. Stallions lead Mohawk Valley 2-0 from Cantine Field here in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, so far, Wager in his first outing as a Saugerties Stallion done a phenomenal job, only giving up 2 hits and no runs through his first 4 innings of work. Not too shabby, I'd say.
No, Ben Wager looks terrific. He does have 3 walks tonight, but he's able to pitch around them, only giving up 2 hits in his 4 innings. And he's had 2 two-runner jams, but able to bear down and get the big outs when he needs to. So
And Luke Pedersen's defensive help definitely doesn't hurt.
yeah, definitely. Luke Pedersen helping him out. Matt Feinstein helping him out in right with the great throw to double up Kaninsky a couple innings ago. And this inning, he gets the fly out and then gets the last out himself with the big strikeout. And we're heading to the bottom of the fourth where the Stallions will try and add to their 2-0 lead. Mohawk Valley, a terrific team. Joe DeSora, a terrific pitcher. And the whole Mohawk Valley pitching staff has been the best in the league by far. I mean, their stats are unbelievable. They've only given up 126 runs, which is first in the league. Their earned runs only 108, first in the league. Their 260 hits given up, first in the league. Their 95 walks, first in the league. And the next closest is 152 from the Albany Dutchmen. So
In walks?
in walks.
Holy moly.
In another comparison, the Stallions have walked 198, so the Stallions have given 103 more free base runners this year than Mohawk Valley. One of the things that have led to their very successful pitching staff and their successful year as a team.
Yeah, season as a whole.
They're also first in only hitting 21 batters. They're first with only 11 wild pitches, and they're first with a 1.22 WHIP. They're also first with their 3.34 ERA. Pretty much every stat you look up.
That's most of the pitching stats.
The interesting thing, Kurt, the one thing they're not first in is strikeouts. They're actually sixth in the league with their 300 and it's actually, 270, sorry. So they let balls get hit and play, but their defense has been backing them up and helped them to this.
That's really what you need to win. I mean,
unbelievable season.
Good offense is obviously very important too. But pitching and defense, many would argue much more important, as you can, sometimes salvage a few runs on, sack bunts or, sack flies or whatever, even if the other team is giving up walks and errors. And so as long as you're not doing that yourself, you're always putting yourself in a position to win the game. And so as you said, pitching been a large part of this Diamond Dog success so far this year. And so we're going to start the bottom of the fourth inning as Matt Forlow steps up to the plate against Joe DeSaro. And Forlow, 0 for 1 on the night. He grounded out to second base in his last at-bat.
Yeah, it's 3-4-5 for the Stallions. Forlow, big swing and miss at the 1-1 breaking ball. So the count 1-2. Mohawk Valley comes in 24-10, just 3 games back in the East from the league leader, the Amsterdam Mohawks. The Stallions 16-20, but 5 games ahead of the Utica Blue Sox for the last playoff spot. So that's what the Stallions are clinging to right now, as the 1-2 fouled straight back, and the count will remain the same. Glens Falls and Utica both 17 games back from the Mohawks and 5 game backs from the Stallions. Saugerties just broke a 4-game losing streak last night with their win over Glens Falls at home.
Yeah, it was a big win for them as they got out to a 5-0 lead and then didn't score much until I believe it was the bottom of the 8th. But fortunately, their pitching staff doing a phenomenal job against them. Avery Short coming out with 5 2/3 innings, giving up those 3 runs, and then the bullpen of, I think it was Nick Teeter, Jack Kelly, and Matt Pouchard giving up no runs for the rest of the game. And so it was a hard-fought win for them coming off the All-Star break and managed to end that 4-game skid they had. And now tonight looking like they're in a pretty good position to add to that winning streak of 1.
Jack Gonzalez hits a bomb to deep right field. That ball is 1 hop off the right field wall. Gonzalez rounding first. He'll head into second with a stand-up double. So Jack, who is 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout, all over the first pitch from Joe DeSaro. And that's the first hit of the night, a booming double down the right field line. He's on second with 1 away for Clay Simmons.
And off the bat, I mean, Biko might have thought it was gone, and so did many of the other fans in the Canton Field Stadium right now. And I mean, it sounded great. Seemed like he got it right off the barrel. Just a little bit too much of a line drive to get over the fence. But either way, Gonzalez standing on second now with that double. And I believe that is his 10th double of the season.
Simmons takes a breaking ball way above his head. So the count 1-0 on another one of the newest Stallions. He's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout.
And you know what, Beeks? Gonzalez was tied for 6th prior to that hit with 9 doubles, and that'll be his 10th, so that'll bump him up even higher in the leaderboards in the whole PGCBL.
It's a little fly ball to right field. Long run for Tim Zhang, who will make the catch coming in. Jack Gonzalez will hurry back to second base. So it'll be 2 away now for the Stallions' third baseman, Tyler Kelder, who is also 0 for 1 with a strikeout, just like Gonzalez and Simmons, as DeSaro struck out the side back in the second. And that double also ties Gonzalez with Nick Campana for the team lead. Even though Campana's off the team, his 10 doubles was really up there in the league and the top of the team until now.
Yeah, Campana got off to a fantastic start to the season, was up in the leaderboards in almost every offensive category. And believe it or not, Beeks, he hasn't played in a week. He has been out since, I believe it was last Friday. And he's still up in the leaderboards in almost every category. And so it just goes to show how good of a season he had and how devastating of a loss that is for the Stallions to have him not be playing the rest of the season.
It's an 0-1 count on Kelder after the breaking ball called strike. Another breaking ball, line drive down the left field line. It's fair for a base hit. Jack Gonzalez rounds third. He will go home. Tyler Kelder will be into second with a double. It's an RBI double for Tyler Kelder. Stallions take a 3-0 lead.
And great hit there by Kelder. Didn't hit it real hard, but hit it in a great spot, almost an inch to the right of that left field line. And managed to play Jack Gonzalez and just trade places with him. I was a little worried when he was turning to go to second because left fielder Tim Zhang got the ball very quickly. It looked like it was going to be a bang-bang play at second until Zhang lost his footing and fell down out there in left field. So Tyler Kelder going in, standing up. And now Stallions up 3-0 and still threatening with 2 outs, as that'll bring up center fielder Connor Powers.
Yeah, Powers 0 for 0 on the night with a run scored. He led off the bottom of the third with a walk, came around to score on the wild pitch from DeSaro, and he takes a fastball outside for a ball. The back-to-back doubles from Gonzalez and Kelder, the first 2 hits of the night for Saugerties, as Powers takes a fastball inside, count now 2-0.
Yeah, so their first 2 runs coming from some small ball as they got on with 2 walks. Palczewski moved him over the bunt. A wild pitch and then a sac fly by Pedersen, getting those 2 guys in. And now coming up clutch with some big hits, the Stallions are. And it's 2 doubles in a row, plating their next one.
2-0, a little nubber in foul territory. Long run for Dan Dealey, who makes the catch. So DeSaro gets out of it, giving up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 man left on base. At the end of 4 full innings of play, Saugerties with a 3-0 lead. We're heading to the top of the 5th from Cantine Field here in Saugerties, New York.
What do you say we get to some of these comments, Beeks?
I think that's the best thing to do right now, Kurt.
And so we got Madison Seacott saying that she's here for the week. I don't know if that means in Saugerties or in New York. But either way, swing on by. The next chance you get, next Stallions home game. I'm not exactly sure when that would be. Maybe Tuesday or something.
I think it is.
But either way, swing on by. We'll be here. And also Tina Gilmore saying shout out to intern Anthony Sorbellini. Anthony, just a couple seats down from us. He's here every night, always puts in a lot of work for the Stallions and does a great job for us.
Tell you know what's a game-changing thing Anthony brought tonight is a little personal fan that him and Rebecca are rocking. I mean, that's a huge move.
That's something that we should have done.
It's hot, Kurt.
Is what I'm thinking after I see that. I didn't even notice that before. I'm kind of upset that you pointed it out because, I mean, I was just kind of under the impression that I just had to deal with this heat. There's not much you can do about it. But he's sitting over there with a fan.
If we could have thought like Anthony, we'd have a little personal fan too. But
you're right. But unfortunately, we just know how to broadcast baseball and not much else.
We don't have the common sense that Anthony does.
And so
Eric,
that's really all we got. And, yeah, I definitely want to get to this one. Eric Schuer saying, sorry, Biko. Now that I have met the man they call Kurt in person, I have a newfound respect for our player/commentator, and that's awesome to hear. out of Eric Schuer. He was always ragging on me beforehand.
I loved it.
A lot, making fun of me every chance he got. And then now, fortunately, he came to Canton, met me in person, and it seems that has changed his impression of me. Not sure what his impression was before. And so maybe I'll have to meet some more of our viewers to get that respect out of them. But either way, I'm glad I finally have it now.
The Diamond Dogs right fielder Austin Pollock will lead off the top of the 5th against Ben Wager, who is pitching great, 4 scoreless innings so far in his Stallions debut. And it's a 2-0 count so far on Pollock. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to Pedersen at short. The 2-0, a ground ball down the third base line, but foul. And rare movement from the Diamond Dogs third base coach, who makes an easy play out of it.
Yeah, get him a contract. I mean, he is stone cold out there, but if the ball's anywhere near him, it's not going to get by him.
Definitely one of our favorite coaches.
You can just scoop it up
in the PGCBL for many a reason. As the 2-1, a breaking ball, high count now 3-1. Eric Schuer also says the Bonnies got a good one with Kelder. Kid's tough, and that's right, Eric. Tyler Kelder is really probably going to be a great asset for St. Bonaventure in the fall. He's been terrific for the Stallions, as that one's fouled, and it will make the seats on the right field line. Jack Gonzalez gave it a good run, but ran out of room. Count now full on Austin Pollock.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, Kelder playing almost every single game since joining the Stallions. And so he's out there putting in the work every single night and not taking any days off.
Payoff pitch, a fly ball out into right center field. Connor Powers drifts over and will make the catch on the run. So another fly out to Powers in center, and there's one away in the top of the 5th for the 9-hitter Joe Engel. Joe is 1 for 1 on the day with a line drive single to right. Austin Pollock, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the 2 fielding starters for Mohawk Valley. Engel swings and misses at a high fastball. Count 0-1. Line down the right field line. It's going to be down. Matt Feinstein over there in the corner will field it. Engel going for second, and the throw will not be in time. It's a stand-up double for Joe Engel, who's now 2 for 2 on the night, both to right field. And he's on second with 1 away for the top of the lineup, and Alexis Mungie Rodriguez.
Yeah, unfortunately, Feinstein was able to get over there and cut that one off, as that's one of the more deadly places in Canton Field, as we saw 2 in a row last night. I believe it was in Matt Feinstein and Matt Forlow tripling to that right field. There's a little gap out there. And so they both tripled because the right fielder wasn't able to cut it off. Unfortunately, Feinstein able to get to that one.
Line drive up the middle, but it's going to hang up for Connor Powers, who is able to come in and grab it. So Mungie Rodriguez, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out to Powers and that amazing play, ground ball up the middle that Luke Pedersen stole away from him. He continues to hit the ball hard, unfortunately for him, straight at Connor. And with 2 away, it'll bring up Luke Terwilliger, who's 0 for 2 on the night with a fly out to Powers in center and a ground out to Pedersen at short.
And Terwilliger actually leading the Diamond Dogs in batting average with a .500 batting average through his 4 at-bats. Coming into this game, and he is now 0 for 2 on the night, so that batting average has dropped significantly.
He hits a line drive down the left field line for a base hit. Joe Engel will score easily. It's going to be backhanded in the quarter by LaGravenese. He throws into Pedersen at second, but the cutoff throw from him not in time. So after the Stallions get 2 runs on back-to-back doubles, the Diamond Dogs do the same, and it's 3-1. Mohawk Valley on the board for the first time here in the 5th.
Yeah, and this is really the first time Wiggers out there being roughed up tonight. 2 doubles in a row, and that'll prompt a mound visit from pitching coach Stephen Freer. Looks like there may be some action in the Stallions bullpen. Nobody fully warming up yet, but a couple of guys out there stretching. And so if Wager continues to give up hits like this and getting into some trouble, his night could be ending very soon. But either way, he's had a fantastic night so far. Stephen Freer just coming out to have a little chat.
Yeah, it looks like Ben out there originally laughing when Freer went out there, so he's staying loose with Polcheski and his pitching coach, as he's only got 1 out away from securing the chance to get the win as long as the Stallions can hold the lead, as the home plate umpire will break up their little party on the mound. It'll be Russ Olive, the dangerous first baseman, to come up with 2 outs, and Terwilliger on second. Olive 0 for 2 with a pop out to Pedersen in shallow left, and then a ground out to Pedersen.
Yeah, and Beeks, you were saying he only needs 1 out to secure the position for the win. But this not one of the more easier outs, as Olive is tied for 11th in the PGCBL with a .344 batting average. Also tied for first in home runs with 6, 33 runs, which is tied for third, and a whole lot of other stats coming out of him, and that's probably why the Stallions are gonna walk him. And a little bit of a scary play there.
Yeah, the 2-0 on the intentional walk actually bounces in front of home plate, goes off of Polcheski's shin guard, but on second base, Terwilliger just couldn't tell. It did not go far away from Polcheski, and even though he didn't know where it went, Terwilliger could have taken third easily, but he stays on second. The 2-0 actually almost catches the plate, count now 3-0. So they're deciding to bypass Olive and face another dangerous hitter in Clay Koninsky.
Yeah.
Koninsky's 1 for 1 on the night with a walk and a single.
Yeah, and unless they decide to walk him too, that is not much of an easier route. Olive batting .344 on the year, but Koninsky behind him at .321. And he's also tied for 6th in the PGCBL with 43 hits. And so now it's first and second for him. And definitely a questionable call by the Stallions here to walk him. But they did want to add the force out for the infielders, or they can go to any base now. And we'll see if it pays off for him here.
Working from the stretch, the first pitch, a breaking ball, called strike from Wager. And the count 0-1 on Koninsky. As I said before, Koninsky, the all-star catcher for Mohawk Valley. Russ Olive, who they intentionally walked, did not make the all-star game, but he did make the prospect game. And Kurt hit you with the stats. He's been very impressive as well, so not a terrible decision to walk him. We'll see how it pays off. The 0-1 bounces in the dirt. Good block by Polcheski. Count now 1-1.
And Wager just got to work through this inning. As I said, Stallions bullpen active out there, so it looks like this could be it for Wager. Just has to get this last out.
The 1-1, fastball high, and the count now 2-1 on Koninsky. Wager has 4 walks tonight, only 3 of those intentional. Or unintentional, sorry. 1 of them was intentional. He comes set. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball low, and the count now 3-1 on Koninsky. The all-star catcher does not bite. Luke Terwilliger leads off second, coming from his RBI double. Russ Olive leads off first after the intentional walk. Here's the 3-1 to Koninsky. Fastball high around the letters, called ball 4, and that will load the bases. And it's going to spark a long walk out from Tommy Whitaker, and it looks like Ben Wager might not make the full 5 innings.
Yeah, he definitely seemed like he was getting a little tired out there, losing his control. And a phenomenal start for him. 4 2/3, giving up 4 hits and only giving up 1 run, but he is responsible for all 3 guys on base. But either way, for his first appearance as a Stallion, and probably for not pitching in a very long time, a good start for Wager. He's smiling as he walks to the crowd of Stallions, ready to give him a high five. And so that's going to be Brady Peterson coming out of the bullpen for the Stallions to try and get out of this tough jam. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the 5-hitter coming up, Tim Zhang, a 304 hitter. And Peterson, the 6-foot, 170-pound righty out of North Fort Myers, Florida. And he'll be going into his senior season at Stetson University this upcoming year.
Peterson so far has thrown 15 innings for the Stallions. He has a 6.6 ERA, and he's 0-2. His issue so far, 14 walks in his 15 innings, something that he cannot do here with the bases juiced. He does have 12 strikeouts. He's given up 18 runs altogether, but only 11 of those earned. And he's only given up 2 extra base hits so far. So Brady, a guy who has 12 strikeouts in 15 innings, can get the ball past you, but also those 14 walks. Gutsy move by Tommy Whitaker here to go to a guy who has been great, but has also struggled with his control this summer.
Yeah, and I was talking to him earlier because he actually had a very good strikeout to walk ratio, and then he had 2 rough outings where I believe he walked like 3 or 4 people in an inning. And so that's where a lot of those walks came from. Other than that, he's been pretty stellar. So as long as he doesn't have another one of those outings here, I think Tommy Whitaker making a good choice in who to bring in such a tough situation.
So while Brady Peterson warms up, one thing I did want to address, earlier in the game when Ben Wager was throwing in the first, and now again, he's had some terrific support from his fans tonight.
A whole lot of people. We got Derek Lee, Alex Van Dusen, Stacy Satterley Lee, all saying, yeah, Ben, yay Wager. I mean, just a whole lot of positive comments coming from, it seems like, I mean, we've got 12 viewers right now, and probably half of them here for Wager, is what it looks like.
Terrific start for Wager. We'll see if Brady Peterson can clean up this bases-loaded 2-out mess. If he does, the final line for Wager will only include the 1 earned run, but so far all 3 men on base are Wager's guys. It'll be Tim Zhang, the Mohawk Valley left fielder, with 2 outs and the bases juiced. Peterson working from the stretch. First pitch, a high fly ball into deep center field. Long run for Connor Powers. It's going to be caught over the shoulder at the track in center field. Tremendous catch by Connor Powers, who is manning center field. Brady Peterson comes in, makes it look easy, gets 1 pitch, 1 out.
Oh, and he had to use every ounce of his speed there on that one. He was running almost directly under the ball, had to chase it down. I mean, an absolute rip off the bat of Tim Zhang. And fortunately, Powers got a great jump on it, and he was just speedy enough to make the over-the-shoulder catch and saving at least 2 runs, possibly 3. And so Brady Peterson coming in, making it a little scary, but getting the job done.
Yeah, I think if that ball goes over Powers' head, it is a 3-run bases-clearing double, and all of a sudden it would be a 4-3 game. Instead, the Stallions take a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 5th inning. And that does close the night on Ben Wager, who, making his Stallions debut, was terrific.
Yeah, can't get the win, unfortunately, but still 4 2/3, only giving up 4 hits and a single earned run to the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Spectacular outing for him.
Yeah, it's something you love to see, the Stallions team plagued by injuries, and you got a guy come in who's probably rusty, and he has no trouble going against one of the top teams in the league. Colleen Clayton says, so many new Stallions, welcome to the club. So a big welcome to all the new guys. As I'd say one of those new guys still, Kurt.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I have been broadcaster turned Stallion. Last week I got my first appearance. Didn't do so hot, but I have yet to have another chance to prove myself. And hopefully we'll see me back on the mound sometime soon. But until then, I'm going to hang out up here with you in the broadcast booth, Beeks.
That's right. The Stallions coming up on a tough little stint where they have 3 doubleheaders in 4 games. So yeah, that's a time where Kurt might have to bring the hurt for a bunch of innings.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Colleen, a lot of new Stallions. We got a couple new pitchers. Jack Kelly coming in from Florida, I believe on Monday. And now with Ben Wager and Clay Simmons, Noah Vanderbeck, myself, a ton of new guys filling in for these everyday Stallions who were playing almost every game, and a lot of them having to leave. Most notably, the 2 catchers, Sam Rousseau, Austin Powell, and as we said before, Nick Campana, all guys who were eating up lots of innings. And so now they got to try to fill those spots. And so here we go, starting the bottom of the 5th between the Stallions and the Diamond Dogs. Joe DeSaro still out there on the mound.
Pat LaGravenese rips one into right field past the dive of Russ Olive. So LaGravenese, who is 0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored, starts the bottom of the 5th with a single. And as Kurt mentioned, he was 4 for 4 last night getting on base. He's now 2 for 2 getting on base tonight. And it'll be the Stallions catcher, Jeff Palczewski, also 0 for 0 on the night with a sac bunt. Yeah,
LaGravenese's on-base percentage got to be skyrocketing after these past 2 games. Getting on base 6 times in a row is a very impressive feat. And so now with him on, he's got some serious speed out there. As he has 6 stolen bases on the year. So we'll see what the Stallions decide to do with their 9-hitter, Jeff Palczewski, at the plate.
Dan Dealey in at third base looking for another bunt. Russ Olive will not charge in at first. He's holding on LaGravenese. Pat takes off first pitch. The throw from Koninsky. What a great throw. Nails LaGravenese. So Pat stealing on the first pitch is caught by the all-star catcher Koninsky. And just like that, he singles on 2 pitches and is thrown out on 1. And there's 1 out here. And it's a called strike, so an 0-1 count on Palczewski.
Yeah, and a tough jump there for LaGravenese. Didn't look like he started running as early as he possibly could have. But he does have some speed, so almost made up for it. But as you said, Koninsky with an absolute cannon down to second base. Not much LaGravenese could do on that one. And now I did say he has the 6 stolen bases, but going into that steal, he was caught stealing 4 times. So now he has 6 stolen bases to his 5 caught stealings. And so almost gets thrown out about as much as he steals the bag.
0-2 count on Palczewski after the breaking ball is a called strike. He's able to spoil that one, so the count's still 0-2 on Jeff. Palczewski comes in hitting 173 with 8 runs scored and 7 RBIs on the year. Palczewski, a real utility man for the Stallions, has played in the infield, played behind the plate, played in the outfield, as he swings and misses on the breaking ball. So after the leadoff single, 2 quick outs, and there's 2 away and nobody out for Luke Pedersen. Luke 0 for 1 on the night with a pop out to third and the sac fly out to center.
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth, Beeks.
I realized as I was saying it, I heard you start and then drop your head.
Yeah, that's all right. We were going to say about the same thing, so guess it doesn't matter who says it.
That sac fly for Pedersen drove in the 2nd run of the night for the Stallions, as it actually drove in LaGravenese. That breaking ball misses, count 1-0 on Luke, coming off a terrific season at Minnesota and in the Big Ten as he led the league with a .350+ batting average.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Big Ten, a serious baseball conference. And so that is no small feat by Luke Pedersen.
The 2-0 lined into center, but unfortunately for Luke, straight at Ben Porter. And just like that, the Stallions, after the leadoff single, they'll go down in order. On 1 hit, they do not strand anyone, and at the end of 5 innings of play, it's 3-1 Saugerties over the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. We're headed to the top of the 6th here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
And I got Derek Lee here saying Ben Wager deserves a shout-out. And I'd have to agree with him. A good start for the new Stallion, and so shout-out Ben Wager.
I think I think that's a great comment. I think Ben Wager did need a shout-out. I think there's an even more important comment, though, from Eric Schuer.
I don't see anything more important. Oh, Derek Lee also said, what a debut by Ben Wager.
Eric says, Kurt looks like a homeless Crocodile Dundee with that hat on. I couldn't have said it any better, Eric. I mean, you really explain things in ways that I can't even. Oh, Kurt, don't take it off. Come on, buddy. All right.
I was going to tell you guys that you could possibly win the hat, but now I'm sad and don't really want to talk anymore.
Eric, I'm still happy you commented on it. I'll give the hat away to somebody tonight. Don't you guys worry.
Yeah, you know what? Someone else can have this. I don't really want it anymore. And so if you comment on this, you can win this hat and hopefully not look like a homeless Crocodile Dundee like myself.
I think probably anybody else in the world won't look like that.
So if you are the predetermined number comment that me and Biko chose, you can win the hat. So if you haven't commented already, you should comment. I was wearing it before, and I promise I washed my hair last week, and so it's not that gross, and you will likely not get lice. So it's a good clean hat.
It's a lot of promises there, Kurt.
I promise you will not get lice, and if you do, then well, I'm not going to do anything about it, but I'm sorry.
My grandmother, Sarah Scala, also says that hat would look great on Grandpa. And Grandma, I think you're right. I mean, he always needs a hat to cover up that bald head. I know he doesn't like to admit it. He says he's got a lot of hair up there, but...
Well, if he does, I can't see it.
Oh! Oh!
I'm sorry.
Going right after Larry Scala.
I'm just trying to compensate for, getting my feelings hurt before.
Eric Schuer goes after Kurt. He takes it out on my grandpa.
I am sorry, Grandpa Scala, for any things I have said. That is not directed at you. And, yeah, so, I mean, I guess overall is what we're trying to say is comment on this post. You can win the hat.
You can win the hat.
And while you're at it, if you want to like and share the Facebook post, you might as well. I mean, the comment button, it's directly in between the like and the share.
That's right. It could be an accidental like, an accidental share. All means the same to us.
Yeah, I mean, but we would appreciate it either way. Just get the nice hat trick and just hit them all while you're at it, and we would really appreciate that. And a comment will give you a possible chance to win this. We'll probably announce it. We'll choose the winner in the bottom of the 8th and announce them in the top of the 9th. I think, Eric Schuer, if you will be watching there, it's safe to say you're not going to win this hat tonight.
I really hope that's the number. I really hope it is.
But everyone else has a pretty good shot at it.
As we're just about ready to get back to baseball, Brady Peterson came in and threw one pitch, got the line out to deep center, and Nick Massa is now in the game for him. So Peterson does his job getting the deep fly out from Tim Zhang. Nick Massa now in relief of Peterson, who had an easy night throwing one pitch. Massa from Manhattan College going into his sophomore season, gets a fly ball out to deep right center. It's going to be a long run for Powers and Feinstein. Feinstein will make the catch on the track right at the Van Valkenburg Properties sign. So a long drive there from Dan Dealey, who was 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to Powers and center. He drives that one about 355 feet out to right center, but it's tracked down by Feinstein because that was really a moonshot as well.
Yeah, it looked real scary off the bat, but unfortunately put it just a little too high in the air, and Feinstein able to get over there for the out. And so a lot of defensive help by the Stallions tonight, backing up their pitchers.
Breaking ball called strike, and the count now 0-1 on Ben Porter. Porter is 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out to Matt Feinstein on right that turned into a double play and then a strikeout. So a tough night so far for Porter. And it's a fastball called strike around the bottom of the knees. Count quickly 0-2.
Yeah, but not a tough season for Porter. He's coming into this game batting .275 through his 120 at-bats. And also 16 runs and 11 RBIs to that stat line. 7 doubles for him, so not a bad start to the PGCBL for Ben Porter.
Yeah, Porter's been the everyday center fielder for Mohawk Valley. As he calls time, Massa will call out Paul Chesky. Maybe he was confused on a sign or just wants to talk about how to finish off the Mohawk Valley center fielder. Massa has been terrific for the Stallions this year. He's 3-1 with a 2.61 ERA and 31 innings pitched, which is the second most on the Stallions. He's only given up 20 hits, 8 walks, struck out 31. So he averages a strikeout per inning.
Yeah, Massa usually a starter for the Stallions, but I believe he took a quick trip to California not too long ago and is just coming back. So Stallions trying to ease him back into work in a relief position before he gets another start.
Massa gets the breaking ball, called 3, strikeout on Ben Porter. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Austin Pollock, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out to Luke Pedersen at short, and the fly out to Connor Powers in center. That one around the outside corner. Ben Porter did not agree. He's actually the only Diamond Dog to strike out tonight, and he's done it twice. As it's a little chopper there from Pollock, who kicks it foul right in front of home plate, but the home plate umpire rules that the ball was in foul territory when he kicked it. So it's just going to be a foul ball instead of an out.
And not surprising there. He's getting hit with another ball, Beeks, as he's not unfamiliar with the feeling, as Pollock actually is tied for first in the whole PGCBL with 12 hit by pitches. And so wherever he happens to be, the ball seems to find him.
0-1 fouled straight towards the first base bleachers and nearly misses a woman who did not see it coming. That one was pretty dangerous. That was a scary sight.
I mean, there was nothing she could do about that one, as the ball was ripped over towards the right field bleachers, and only about probably 10 people on the whole bleacher section. But that lady right there was sitting dead red, came about a foot to the right of her from hitting her in the chest, and fortunately it did not. We have had one serious injury here at Cantine Field. I believe it was the 4th of July when the Stallions were playing the Albany Dutchmen, and one of the Dutchmen let go of their bat, flew into the left field stands, and hit a lady in the head. And she had to be ambulanced out.
2-2 swing and a miss. So Nick Massa comes in and gets 2 strikeouts, throws a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 5.5, it's 3-1 Stallions over Mohawk Valley. From Cantine Field here at Saugerties, New York, heading to the bottom of the 6th. I tell you what, Kurt, I don't know if you're smelling it too. It smells like horses, though.
It does smell like horses. That means Stanley's got to be in the area.
That's right. I mean, Hits is also nearby.
Yeah, Horses in the Sun shows.
I didn't know they were dousing Stanley the Stallion with real-life horse smell.
Horse smell. But either way, we've got a birthday party here at Cantine tonight. A whole bunch of young kids out there, and they're going to, along with Stanley and a couple of our interns, lead the crowd in the YMCA. And so Stanley right in the middle of the group of kids. And he's out there. He's out there leading the whole crowd there. Everyone's going along with it. And as Joe DeSaro warms up, it looks a little something like this.
It is really great to see all of them out there rocking the YMCA. Looks like Rebecca caught us in the booth ripping the YMCA as well. Rebecca Rivette does not miss anything. She gets all the plays. She even gets the broadcasters ripping the YMCA moves.
Yeah, we got to keep talking, but we can't not go along with the YMCA. I see my grandma Betty out there.
I was about to say the same thing, Kurt.
Having a grand old time by herself, clapping along. I wish we had a camera specifically on her. But also a lot of the preschool kids really getting down out there to the YMCA. And this is the largest birthday party I've seen here so far. I mean, there's just estimate, there's probably 20 kids out there, Beeks.
At least, I would say. See if they can get all the preschoolers off the field. That's a lot of folks. That's a tall order.
Tall task. Looks like the birthday party is going fantastic. If you would like to have a birthday party at one of the Stallions home games, you can go to SaugertiesStallions.com and go under Fan Zone and book it tonight for either your son or daughter, or if you'd like to have one for yourself. I mean, we can have adult birthday parties here as well, I think.
Yeah, we're not going to stop you from that.
You can announce a half an inning for the Stallions up here in the broadcast booth with us. I'm sure you'd get some great deals at the watering trough. So it could be a good time.
It's going to be 2-3-4 here in the bottom of the 6th for the Stallions. Matt Feinstein, the right fielder, steps in. takes a fastball called strike and does not bite at the breaking ball low. Now takes a fastball away. So the count 2-1 on Feinstein. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a line out to Mungie Rodriguez at short and then a strikeout swinging back in the third. It's now a 3-1 count on Feinstein. Matt comes in hitting .278, and his 27 walks is first on the team. 7 more than Jack Gonzalez, who is the next closest. The 3-1 fastball skied in the infield. Looks about around second base as Joe Engel, right on the right field grass, makes the catch. So Feinstein skies the 3-1 for a pop-up to second. And that'll bring up Matt Forlow, who's the Stallions second baseman. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a ground ball to Engel at second and a fly out to Porter in center.
And I just want to say this here. Dawn Rivette saying she's enjoying the game and saying the camera girl is catching it all. So a quick shout out to Rebecca, our camera girl, getting all the angles in there, getting you what you need to see.
So 1-0 count on Forlow. The 1-0 fastball called strike and the count 1-1. That's been a borderline pitch all night around the letters. Ben Wager missed a couple of calls right around there, whether it's a strike or not. It's right on the borderline, a close call. As DeSaro gets that one. Count now 2-1 on Forlow.
And now finally some action in the Diamond Dogs bullpen. Looked like DeSaro was just going to keep throwing, but the Diamond Dogs do have a righty warming up out there. And so that one popped up by Matt Forlow, skied right in the air. And first baseman Russ Olive under there easily to make that out.
So after 2 infield pop-ups, it's going to bring up Jack Gonzalez, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2 on the night with a strikeout swinging in the second and then a big double off the right field wall and a run scored in the fourth. He came around to score on Tyler Kelder's double 2 batters later. As Kurt mentioned when it happened, it was his 10th double of the year, which brought him past 6th place in the PGCBL where he started the game and tied him with Nick Campana, who had to leave the team because of injury but had the team lead with 10 when he left about a week ago. The 1-0, fastball up and out, and the count now 2-0. Joe DeSaro, who has been fantastic this year, has had a little trouble with the Stallions lineup, giving up 3 runs in 5 2/3 as the fastball high and the count now 3-0. He had only walked 8 batters in the 31 innings he had thrown before tonight, but he's walked 2 so far and 1 pitch away from walking his 3rd. See if Gonzalez has the green light with 3-0 and 2 outs. He does. It's a big swing and a miss on a fastball, count 3-1.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if there's a player on the Stallions to get a green light 3-0, it's Jack Gonzalez. He knows where in the count he is and what kind of swing he should be taking. And that one with 3-0 looked like it was a ball right down the middle. That's the kind of swing you like to see. And so that one by Gonzalez, another big hack at it and swung through it. So the count now goes from 3-0 quickly to 3-2. And DeSaro is going to see if he can finish him off here on the payoff pitch. He'll step off.
Stallions with a 3-1 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. They scored 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and Mohawk Valley scored their 1 in the 5th. The payoff pitch, a breaking ball outside. So DeSaro tried to fool Gonzalez with the 3-2 off speed and ends up missing the zone. With Jack on first and 2 away, it'll bring up Clay Simmons, sorry.
Yeah, that'll be Clay Simmons. Just think of the, it comes out of the ground.
That's
can mold
right.
stuff with it, like Clay,
Clay in his first game as a Stallion, so still getting used to one of the newest Stallions along with Ben Wager.
It's a tough name.
Thanks, Kurt. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right as the Mohawk Valley head coach will come out and chat with DeSaro. He'll bring the entire infield in. DeSaro trying to get through 6 innings, giving up only 3 earned runs.
And so there we go. Looks like DeSaro is not going to be taken out. But the coach just having a chat with him. Might be to get some more time for his relievers out in the bullpen to warm up. But
there is a big righty throwing in the Mohawk Valley bullpen. So if DeSaro gets in more trouble, he may come in this inning.
But until then, it is DeSaro's inning to finish here in the bottom of the 6th. It is still 3-1 Saugerties Stallions. Man on first for Clay Simmons.
It's a 1-0 count to Clay. Gonzalez over at first, not a threat to steal. He hasn't tried to do it once so far this summer. And his time's running out to try and swipe a bag. So I don't think he's gonna this year.
If he hasn't at this point, likely not going to happen. But you never know. Sometimes those unexpected runners can easily swipe bases because pitchers tend not to worry about him.
It's a 2-0 count on Simmons.
Still looking for his first base hit in a Stallions uniform.
He takes a big swing and miss at a fastball around the letters. The count now 2-1.
And a big hack there from Simmons, much like Jack Gonzalez was doing earlier on. When you're ahead in the count, you might as well get your hacks in.
High fastball count now 3-1. So DeSaro, who hadn't shown a lot of control issues tonight, looks like he's starting to wear down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He got 2 quick outs with the infield pop-ups from Feinstein and Forlow, but after walking Gonzalez, he's now down 3-1 to Clay Simmons. He comes set and comes home. Swing and a miss, count now full at 3-2.
Yeah, and you see him out there wiping a lot of sweat off of his face. I mean, it is a extremely hot and humid night here in Saugerties. And so tough night to pitch on. But he's done a good job so far.
The payoff pitch skied into center field. Ben Porter will take a few steps in, settle under it, and make the catch. So 1 walk, 1 man left on base for the Stallions, no runs across. At the end of 6 full innings, Saugerties leads Mohawk Valley 3-1 from Cantine Field here in Saugerties, New York.
That's a pretty nice hat you got on, Beeks.
Thanks, Kurt. I mean, as much as I wish I could keep this hat, it unfortunately is going to one of you guys at the end of the night. A random comment will win this Stallions official bucket hat, a hat that you can get here at the Pro Shop in Cantine Field, but it'd be even easier if you could just win it for free if your comment's chosen.
For free, yeah, we chose a predetermined number comment, and you can win it if you are that number comment. And usually $25 hat, but we are going to give it to you for free. All you got to do is comment. If you can't come right to Cantine to pick it up, we'll pack it up and ship it right out to you. And hopefully you can rock it a little better than Biko can. He definitely, I think he looks like a homeless Crocodile Dundee if I had to say so myself.
I don't know where you heard that, Kurt, but I believe
I came up with it right off the top of my head.
I believe Eric Schuer actually called you that. I think
I don't remember.
I look like a cool cowboy because you can't even see my eyes.
Cowboys wear bucket hats?
They do in my universe.
All right. Well, whatever universe you're in, you can win this hat. James Francis saying, I want that hat. Will you ship it to Florida? We sure will, James. Yeah, we'll ship it anywhere in the world.
We'd ship it to Hong Kong if Tom won it.
Yeah, if you live in Antarctica, we will ship it right to you.
I don't know if we can do that, Kurt. I don't know if you can promise that.
I can't promise that.
I think we're going to have to take that one back.
We'll do our best.
We don't know if a postal service will send this hat to Antarctica. But if it can happen, we'll do it.
Yeah, but I mean, fortunately, Florida is not Antarctica. It's pretty much the exact opposite, and so we can send it right to Florida and to you, James, if you happen to win it, or any of our other commenters here tonight. And while you're at it, if you want to like and share the post, we would greatly appreciate that. We are only in our 3rd year of existence as a team, the Stallions are, And we are trying to get as much exposure for the team as we can, and we need your help getting the word out. And so if you could do that for us, we would be very grateful.
Tell you what, Kurt, I don't know how the Cowboys actually see anything with these hats on.
It's not easy. That's just comes with the territory, I guess.
I mean, I guess you just kind of fire wherever you can if you get in one of those standoffs.
Yeah. Just throw your lasso out there, hope it catches a bull.
I'm sure I could do it. I'm sure I could lasso some bulls out in
All right,
Texas.
after the game, we're going to get you some rope, and you're going to try and lasso some cattle.
Throw that up on the on the Stallions
yeah,
Facebook
we'll
page.
live stream that as well.
Cole Whitney in to pitch for the Stallions, as it's going to be 9-1-2 for Mohawk Valley here in the top of the 7th. Saugerties with a 3-1 lead and trying to extend their winning streak to 2 games. Mohawk Valley's losing streak to 3. It's a fastball called strike to Joe Angle, the Mohawk Valley second baseman, 2 for 2 on the day with a single, a double, and a run scored. He's been most of the offense for the Diamond Dogs so far. That one bounces in the dirt. Count now 3-0 on Angle.
Oh, and also something we forgot to mention, Beeks, is that there's a new pitcher in on the mound.
Well, I said it was Cole Whitney, but I didn't explain anything else about him.
Well, let's talk about him. He's a 6'4", 200-pound righty out of Campbell Hall, New York. And he's coming out of Catawba Valley Community College. And he'll be going into his, he was a sophomore last year, and I believe it's a 2-year school, so he'll be finding a new home next year.
It's a 2-2 count on Angle. A swing and a miss, and strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Mohawk Valley. After they only struck out 1 time in the first 5 innings, they've now struck out 3 of their last 4 batters. 2 of them from Nick Massa, now 1 from Cole Whitney. So Angle, who is 2 for 2 now, 2 for 3. It'll bring up Alexis Mungie Rodriguez, the shortstop, who's 0 for 3 with a fly out to Connor Powers in center. The ground out up the middle that Luke Pedersen robbed him of a single, and then a line out to Powers in center, as the breaking ball from Whitney just misses. Cole, another one of the newer Stallions, only has thrown 2 2/3 innings so far, but he's not given up a run, only walked 1 and struck out 1, so a good start to the year so far for Cole, as it's a pop-up in the infield from Mungie Rodriguez. Matt Forlow will come in and make the catch, and they'll be 2 away in the top of the 7th.
And so that'll bring up the DH tonight, Luke Terwilliger. He is 1 for 3 on the night with a fly out to center, ground out to short, and then a booming RBI double in his last at-bat, plating the only run of the night for the Diamond Dogs so far.
Yeah, after he dropped his batting average, started out at 500, dropped down to 250. He's now back up to 333, so a roller coaster ride for Luke Terwilliger tonight as he takes a breaking ball called strike from Cole Whitney. That one popped foul behind home, and the count quickly 0-2 on one of the newest Diamond Dogs. As I mentioned, he's only had 7 at-bats so far this year.
And something you were saying about Whitney, too, Beeks, is he is a relatively new Stallion, but not as new as you think. He's only pitched those 2 2/3 innings, but has been on the team for about a month. He has actually had to do a lot of working on his studies this summer, as I believe he's taken like 20-something credits, like 24 credits this summer to try and get back in academic eligibility for college next season. And so he's been working really hard and only able to pitch for the Stallions on the weekends. And so that has a lot to do with why he hasn't gotten a lot of innings. But when he does throw, he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, Whitney gets the strikeout swinging there from Terwilliger. So a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for Cole Whitney. And at the end of 6.5 innings, it's 3-1 Saugerties over the Diamond Dogs. We will take a quick break for Kate Smith to sing God Bless America, and we will be right back.
And we're back after Kate Smith actually not singing God Bless America tonight.
Yeah, Kate took the night off here in Cantine.
Yeah, the Kate Smith recording needed a rest, so the young lady who sang the national anthem back out to sing God Bless America. And now it's something that happens is, I was going to say fan favorite.
I know you were, and then you
not-
stopped yourself.
I'm not sure if I can say that. It's something that happens here every Stallions home game. Owner Kevin Hinchy out there singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, leading the VIP section. And they definitely do enjoy it. So I guess I can say fan favorite. He's out there with his glasses.
What he lacks in vocal talent, he makes up in charisma. I'll say it.
Charisma and energy.
That's right. That's right.
Always out there, energizing the crowd.
It's a tender way to say it.
Yeah, we choose our words carefully when talking about the owner of the team that employs us.
Gives us our a free meal a night to broadcast their games.
And so we don't want to say anything too bad that we could lose our jobs.
It's a good gig here at Cantine. We have a whole lot of fun.
It's a very good gig.
If you're having a lot of fun, please like and share and comment on the video.
Yeah, sure.
As we've mentioned, you could win this schnazzy bucket hat.
Yeah,
or Saugerties Stallion swag.
Or if you're tuning in from Palm Coast, Florida, I also urge you to like and share this as well. That means you, Todd Sloan.
Getting called out, Todd. Attaboy, Kurt.
No, I'm just kidding. Anybody, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do so. But if it's if you get around to it, we'd really appreciate it. And your comment already got you a chance to win the bucket hat.
Yep, you're in the drawing.
And you're in the drawing, and that's pretty awesome that you're tuning in from Palm Coast, Florida.
Thank you, Todd.
It's great to see. We got listeners and viewers from all around the nation here tonight, and it's very exciting knowing that our voices are being heard so far and wide.
There's going to be a new pitcher coming in for Joe DeSaro, who threw well. He threw 6 innings, giving up 3 runs from Mohawk Valley. It's going to be Nick Carignato, the 6'2", 250-pound righty from Buena, New Jersey, coming from North Carolina Central, going into his senior year there. And it's a line drive off the glove of Dealey at third. The throw on over to first, not in time to get Kelder. So Tyler, first pitch swinging, rips one. It was a tremendous job to even knock that down over at third. And a great throw, but just a little high. And Russ Olive not able to tag Tyler Kelder. So it's a base hit for Kelder. And they have the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, roller coaster of a play there as Kelder ripped it down the third base line. Thought it was going to get by him. And as you said, the fact that Dealey even got in front of it was incredible. And then it looked like he was going to be able to throw Kelder out, but the throw a little bit high, and Kelder just able to move his body far enough out of the way of Russ Olive's glove to beat it out for a single.
So Kelder now 2 for 3 on the day. Before that, he was also 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And that'll bring up Connor Powers. Powers 1 for 2 on the day, shows bunt, but pulls back to take a strike. He walked and scored a run in the 3rd, and then popped out in foul territory to Dan Dealey in the 4th.
And so much has happened that I haven't been able to get a chance to get to Nick Carignato's stats, but this is his 12th appearance on the year. All of them have been in relief. He's thrown 15 2/3.
As Powers tries to lay it down the third baseline, but it rolls foul, so it's a quick 0-2 count on Connor, who will probably have to swing away.
And in those 15 2/3, he's given up only 7 hits and 2 runs, only one of them being earned. So Carignato, one of the more stellar relief pitchers coming out of the bullpen for Mohawk Valley. 20 strikeouts to only 6 walks, a phenomenal ratio there, and he's 1-0 on the season, a .57 ERA.
The 0-2. Fouled straight over our broadcast booth. Kurt, I thought he was going to fall out of his chair. That one was straight over Kurt and my heads.
Yeah,
that was a close one.
It, I mean, it wasn't real close to us, but for a sec I thought it was coming right at me. And it's happened before. I mean, we've got a very small windowsill here in the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth, and balls have come in, and there's a couple of holes in the wall behind all the people up here. And so it's definitely possible coming foul balls from the lefties. And so you could see why I was a little I was a little jumpy there.
Yeah, we've had them come in here before, and as Kurt said, there's bruises in the wall behind us to mark when the ball came in here. As Kelder back as he's checked on over at first. Kelder not a humongous threat to steal. He's 0 for 1 on the year in attempts. It's a 1-2 count on Connor Powers. Fastball, swing and a miss. Powers will be running to first, and he's going to get there in time. And he's out because, I'm sorry, Tyler Kelder was on first base. You can't actually run to first.
No, it's not.
When there's a man in front of you.
It's against the rules.
It's actually against the rules. Tyler Kelder was already basically on second base when Powers was running, so he fooled me. So it's a strikeout swinging for Powers, but Kelder will get to second base on what will be probably a pass ball. It was a fastball around
it hit the glove
knees
of Kaninsky and then just kind of got by him. And so, I mean, Powers was giving his out away anyway. He was going to bunt him over. And I guess the strikeout and pass ball ends with the same result. Man on second now with 1 out.
Yeah, he gets the job done.
For LaGravenese, who is 1 for 1 on the night with a single and a walk.
Line drive into left field. It's going to get past Tim Zhang. Kelder will score. LaGravenese is at second. He's rounding second. He's heading for third. Kelder is going to be sliding in head first to third. I think it will be a single and an E7. But no matter what, it is an RBI. And the Stallions take a 4-1 lead.
And great hit there by LaGravenese, just kind of slapping it over into left field. And left fielder for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, Tim Zhang, trying to lay out and make the catch, and unfortunately just got right by him. And you got to love the hustle out of LaGravenese. As soon as he saw it get by him, he is charging away. He knew he wanted third base, and he went out and got it. So RBI single for LaGravenese, and then a little extra for the Stallions. And so they're still threatening here with 1 out as they take a 4-1 lead.
It'll be the 9-hitter and catcher Jeff Polcheski, who's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout and a sac bunt. As Mohawk Valley with the infield back, actually all 4 infielders will trade and out for a run. It's a 1-0 count on Polcheski. He shows bunt but pulls back, so maybe a little safety squeeze on there. LaGravenese over on third base, already with 1 run scored today. He's a perfect 2 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, now 2 singles and an RBI. As Polcheski takes a fastball called strike on the outside corner. Stallions faithful behind home plate thought it was too far out. But
yeah, not surprising there. They're always willing to give the ump a piece of their mind.
That's right, Kurt.
Defend their team.
Here's the 2-1. Polcheski squares around, pulls back, and takes. He actually foul tipped it into the glove of Kaninsky. So the count now 2-2 as Stallions looked like they were going to try and safety squeeze again, but were not able to get it down. So it's a 2-2 count on Jeff. LaGravenese leads off third. Stallions trying to add to their 4-1 lead. It's a chopper to second base. LaGravenese will score. Joe Engel will go on to first base. It's an RBI ground out for Jeff Polcheski. Saugerties takes a 5-1 lead. So LaGravenese scores his 2nd run of the game. He's also reached safely in 7 straight at-bats. Pat on a great tear for the Stallions. It'll flip the order over with 2 away for Luke Pedersen. Pedersen so far tonight 0 for 2, fly out, or a little pop out to third, and also a line out to center as well as a sacrifice fly out to center field. And he takes a big swing and a miss on a fastball from Corignano. As we have a birthday party up in the booth, delivering us goodies. And
yeah, we just got some free cupcakes and a visit from a couple toddlers in here, and it's a great time here in the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth. There we go, bud.
Michael says, "Go Stallions."
Everybody's taking their turn here. And bye, everybody.
I hope you could hear that, because that's probably the cutest Go Stallions I've ever heard in my life.
It was fantastic. I wish you guys could have seen it.
Luke Pedersen, ground ball up the middle. It's going to be fielded by Engel at second, who will throw high, but is able to get out Pedersen as Olive lands on the bag. But the damage is done. The Stallions score 2 runs on 2 hits and leave nobody on base. And at the end of 7 full innings of play, 5-1 Saugerties over the Diamond Dogs here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
I'll tell you what, Beeks, it's really unfortunate that that inning didn't end probably about 3 minutes earlier, because we just had about 6 or 7 small children up here with us. It was very distracting, because they were all so cute and having such a good time here for the Stallions' birthday party. As we said before, I mean, there's probably about 20 of them, but only the top 6 or 7 of the group got to come up here with us. And they were all waving into the camera. You guys couldn't see them, unfortunately, because we had to show you the game. But very, very cute. It was definitely very distracting.
Yeah, Luke Pedersen was hitting, and we couldn't take it away from Luke. And while that was happening, as we said, we had some great kids, Michael and then Andrew, both up there enjoying their birthdays. And John Clayton now in the booth with us.
Yeah, he's about as distracting as the toddlers were.
You know, it's not easy broadcasting up here in the Crime Doesn't Pay Stallions broadcast
There's a lot
booth.
of stuff going on besides baseball. And John Clayton, we're trying to get him to come talk to you guys. He said next half inning. I think that's an empty promise.
No, we'll get John on here next half inning. We'll get John the shotgun mic so he can hop on the broadcast.
All 3 of us will be up here to have a little chat.
John Clayton, actually he was the winning pitcher in the PGCBL All-Star game, as he
gives a little tip of the cap.
Yeah, he was the only pitcher to make the team. He made it along with Luke Pedersen and was able to throw 2 outs, but those 2 outs were positioned at the end of 1 inning, at the start of the next. And in between that inning, the East took the lead over the West and never lost it. So
yeah, that's perfect. That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. John Clayton also.
That's the 2nd year in a row that a Saugerties Stallions pitcher has had the win in the All-Star game. Last year, Nick Burns coming in for an inning, and he got the win for that one. And Colleen Clayton saying, "Tell my son John to come talk to his mom." And yeah, John, Colleen's telling you that she wants to come chat. He just gives a wave of the hand. Very disrespectful, I'd say.
Oh man. It's 3-4-5 here as Cole Whitney out for his 2nd inning of work. He got a 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. He's got Russ Olive, one of the more dangerous hitters in the PGCBL, 0-2. Olive so far tonight with an 0-for-2 outing, a pop out to Pedersen at short and then a ground out to Pedersen at short. He was also intentionally walked in the 5th. Here's the 0-2. And it's a ground ball to Forlow at second. He gets a cherry hop and will throw over to first in plenty of time. So Whitney continues to throw the outs. He's gotten all 4 batters he's faced. And that'll bring up the catcher, Clay Koninsky, who's 1 for 1 on the night with a single and a pair of walks.
Yeah, so Whitney, as you said, doing a phenomenal job so far, not allowing a base runner. And it's unfortunate that the Stallions don't have him as a everyday pitcher, because he could do some serious damage. As I was saying before, he can only pitch on the weekends because he's studying hard this summer in order to have academic eligibility this upcoming school year. And the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs with somebody else in their bullpen, looking like they're going to pull their current pitcher, Nick Carignato.
There's a line drive single, though, from Clay Koninsky, who stays perfect tonight. He's 2 for 2 on the night with 2 walks and 2 singles. So he's on with 1 away. That's the first base runner of the night against Whitney. And that'll bring up Tim Zhang. Zhang is 0 for 1 on the night with a very deep fly out to center field that was tracked down probably about 380 feet away by Connor Powers with the bases loaded. He was the only batter that Brady Peterson faced. He's also walked twice. John Clayton says, "Oh no," when he reads the comment from his mom.
Yeah, Colleen Clayton saying, "Tell him if he doesn't talk, I will tell some stories." So she's playing hardball now.
It's a fastball up and out, so the count 1-0, or count 2-0, sorry, on Tim Zhang. Kaninsky over at first base, not a big threat to steal. He hasn't tried to so far this summer. The 2-0 fastball inside, and the count now 3-0. Whitney's only walked one guy so far in his over 3 innings of work this summer. Here's the 3-0. Fastball called strike at the knees, and the count 3-1.
Yeah, nice pitch there from Whitney. Even though it was 3-0, not giving Tim Zhang anything good to hit. Painted that outside corner on that pitch. And hopefully he'll remember how that one felt and come back with some more strikes right here.
3-1. Check swing from Tim Zhang. The call down to second says that he did not go. As the home plate umpire says that fastball was up. It was around the letters. It's going to be a 5-pitch walk to Zhang. Now it's first and second with one away.
And we'll see it on the replay here in a few moments and let you know what we think of it. But until then, Dan Daly stepping up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the night. 2 flyouts to center and a flyout to right field.
Boy, that looked like a good pitch. That looked like a pitcher's pitch to me.
Yeah, right off of the replay. We just saw it, got to see it again, and yeah, Beeks, it looked outside corner, and I mean maybe a little up, but definitely not above the letters, I'd say.
I agree. I think if anything, it was outside and not up, as it's a high fly ball to Feinstein and right. Matt will make the catch, as Kaninsky will not actually really step off second. He was already doubled off once by Feinstein trying to fake a tag at third. So he will not try the same thing again. And with 2 away, it'll bring up Ben Porter. Porter's 0 for 3 on the day with that fly-out double play to right field, as well as 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking.
And so Whitney in the most trouble he's been in all night, which is not really saying much. These are his only 2 base runners, but now with first and second, base hit by Porter will likely score Clay Kaninsky from second. And that one is said to be up by Cole Whitney, making the count 2-1. The Saugerties fans a little upset with that one. Couple murmurs from the VIP section. And another pitch there from Whitney. Excuse me, it was 1-1. That low curveball will make the count 2-1. So struggling to get the ball over the plate a little bit here.
Fastball outside, so the count now 3-1. First and second, 2 away here. Stallions trying to keep their 5-1 lead. Cole Whitney in his second inning of work. It's the first 2 base runners he's given up so far tonight. A single and a walk. The 3-1. A fly ball into deep center field. It's going to be a very long run for Connor Powers, who will settle under it at the left center field track. And Cole Whitney works in and out of trouble on 1 hit, 2 men left on base, and no runs across. And at the end of 7.5 innings of play, Stallions lead 5-1. And we will have John Clayton join us here in the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth.
Here we go.
What's going on, John?
I've always wanted to do this.
Here we go. This is your chance.
Hey,
right?
Mom.
Yeah, Colleen Clayton saying that she wanted John to come talk and blackmailing him with some stories of when he was younger, so he finally caved and came over here. So we gave him a shotgun mic.
They were all good stories, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully. And so what do you think the game so far? How the Stallions been doing?
Hey, we're winning. Winning's a good feeling, so I mean, I have faith in the guys who are going to pull this one out.
Absolutely. Do you think the All-Star break had anything to do with you guys? You guys got to rest up a little bit. First time you've had 2 days in a row off.
I mean,
the entire season, and it seems like this team's a little like refreshed after that.
I mean, it's a long season, so I think any break's going to help a team. But yeah, winning baseball game is the objective. So I mean, when we're winning, we're having fun.
Absolutely. And,
hey Jones, how are you?
Still got 3 more outs. Now we got Matt Jones, another.
Yeah.
It's a party up here.
Oh, it'll come in.
It's a party up here.
Yeah, it's a little delayed.
In the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth, Matt Jones doesn't think he was on. Doesn't realize that there's a slight delay to the video.
John, you were the one of 2 Stallions All-Stars. What was that All-Star experience like? You and Luke Pedersen were the guys representing Saugerties.
It's something else. The environment there was just, it's unbelievable to be around such great talent. And I mean, I was blessed to be honored to play in the game, and me and Luke had so much fun hanging out with everyone, and it was a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, the only 2 Stallions who made the All-Star team, but both of you had phenomenal showings. Pedersen going 2 for 2, I believe, in the game, and you were the winning pitcher, only getting 2 outs, but it was enough to get the win. And so, I mean, Stallions really representing in the All-Star game. Only 2 of you guys.
Yeah.
But doing a great job. And your mom says, "Hi, my boy."
Hi, Mommy.
Give her, yeah, there's a quick shout out for Colleen.
Tell everybody at home I said hi.
There you go. So great to have you up in the booth here,
Thanks,
John.
guys.
And,
I appreciate it.
When do you think you'll be towing the rubber next?
We got to make a decision after the game. I don't know.
All right,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on when Clayton will be on the mound next. It's always a pleasure to be watching him, and be sure to tune in next time and watch this guy pitch. He's as good of a pitcher as he is a broadcaster.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
See you, John.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, that's fun.
It'll be 2-3-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Feinstein steps in against the new pitcher, Zach Venaro, another All-Star for Mohawk Valley, as the 0-1, a breaking ball low, and the count 1-1. Feinstein tonight 0 for 3 with a line out to short, a strikeout, and a pop out to Joe Engel at second. He takes a fastball outside for a called strike, and the count 1-2. Two, 3, 4 here in the bottom of the 8th. The Stallions lead 5-1. As they have bridged the gap to Matt Pichard so far. They'll try and add a couple insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. But Zach Venero, a very tough guy to do it against, as Feinstein spoils the 1-2 out into the Mohawk Valley bullpen. Venaro, the 6'6", 220-pound righty from Utica, New York, coming from Mount Olive and going into his senior year. In his All-Star campaign, he's got a 3.17 ERA. He's 1-1. Only 2 walks in 17 innings pitched compared to his 22 strikeouts. So Venaro having a terrific year so far in the PGCBL, as Feinstein checks his swing on a high fastball, and the count now 2-2.
And we got some funny comments here. Eric Schuer saying, John Clayton is the professor of pitching. Had the pleasure of talking with him during Thursday's game and said he doubled his knowledge of situational pitching. And that's had a lot to do with how well John Clayton has pitched so far this season for the Stallions, is his knowledge of the game.
Tell you who can't catch a break tonight is Matt Feinstein. He lines out to Russ Olive at first. The way he's hitting the ball, he should be 2 for 4. Unfortunately for him, he's 0 for 4.
Second liner of the game. And that's just how baseball is. Sometimes you can hit the ball as hard as you possibly can and still only get, you know, possibly 1 or even no hits. And so eventually some of them will fall for him.
Here's Matt Forlow, the 3-hitter who rips one past Mungie Rodriguez at short. First pitch swinging, he took the breaking ball and was able to rip it into left field just off the glove of Rodriguez. So he was 0 for 3 with 3 pop-outs, but now 1 for 4, and he's on first base for the cleanup man, Jack Gonzalez, the Stallions' first baseman. Gonzalez 1 for 2 on the night, a big booming double and off the right field wall, a run scored and a walk.
So here we go, Forlow leading off first base, and Gonzalez at the plate.
Fastball misses the outside corner, count 1-0. Forlow 2 for 2 on the year in stolen base attempts, so he hasn't run a whole lot, but he hasn't been thrown out.
And up 5-1. We'll see what Tommy Whitaker decides to do here. It's not ridiculous. It would be a decent decision to try and send him here. Get another Nacarado insurance run.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Benson steal tonight.
No Benson steals.
And there's only been 1 Williams Lumber broken bat.
And we didn't mention it, so.
That's right. Russ Olive, it was kind of a half-broken bat. It sounded like he broke his bat, but nothing really shattered. But if you break your bat and need some lumber.
Yeah, or even half break your bat like Russ Olive did.
You should check out Williams Lumber for all your lumber needs to get you the right lumber for when you need the lumber.
They got some lumber and some good lumber at that.
And even though there hasn't been a Benson steal tonight, if you need steel, you got to check out Benson Steel.
Benson Steel has some steel, and you can. I would suggest you don't steal the Benson Steel.
Oh, no. You do not want to steal the Benson Steel.
But if you go buy the Benson Steel, they'll give you some steel, and you'll put things up that you can't knock down.
That's right. Benson Steel will steal the steel right back from you. As it's a fastball low, count 3-1 on Gonzalez. I'm not saying Benson Steel will steal anything, but yeah, I just wouldn't steal their steel.
If you steal their steel, then it would be justified that they steal their steel back.
It's a 3-1 count on Jack Gonzalez. And it's a hard line drive into right center field. It's going to fall for extra bases. Forlow rounds second, Gonzalez rounds first. Matt's going to get waved around third by Whitaker. Gonzalez is rounding second. He's going to third. It's an RBI triple for Jack Gonzalez, and the Stallions take a 6-1 lead.
And Gonzalez absolutely tattooing that. A dead line drive out into right center field, and he was chugging all the way. Matt Forlow looked like he was going to score easily. And then the outfielders out there looked like they were having trouble picking up the ball. And so Jack Gonzalez chugging around and easily in there with a stand-up triple.
Yeah, Gonzalez, a guy you always have the green light 3-0, 3-1. He had the green light there 3-1, absolutely ripped it. And Gonzalez, even though he's the first baseman with sneaky speed, got to third easily. That'll bring up one of the newest Stallions, Clay Simmons, who takes a fastball called strike from the all-star Venero. Simmons 0 for 3 tonight so far with a strikeout and a fly out to right and center. Eric Schuer says, had Forlow not been injured for the gap, I think he would have been an all-star for sure. I agree. Forlow leading the Stallions in batting average has been terrific for Saugerties.
Yeah, Forlow only was able to play the first 3 games of the year until he was injured after the Stallions home opener, I believe, in a collision during batting practice with one of the other players, and that knocked him out for a good 2 or 3 weeks. And but since he's been back, been picked up right where he left off before he was injured.
0-2 to Simmons outside, so the count 1-2. Still looking for his first hit and first RBI as a Stallion. The entire Diamond Dogs infield playing back, so if he puts the ball in play, he should be in business. Venero comes set. Gonzalez leads off third. Here's the 1-2 to Simmons. Breaking ball, line drive over the head of Mungie Rodriguez into left field. Simmons will take a hard round to first base, but come back. So it's an RBI single for Clay Simmons, his first RBI and his first hit as a Stallion. And Saugerties takes a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, it took him 4 at-bats to finally get it. But now with that strong liner just over the shortstop's head, he's able to get his first hit and first RBI in the Stallions uniform. And at a great time, adding another insurance run to that Stallions lead, and they're now up 7-1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, Simmons down 1-2 there. Great piece of hitting. Didn't try and do too much, and got a breaking ball, just lined it right over the head of Mungie Rodriguez. And that'll bring up Tyler Kelder. Kelder is 2 for 3 on the night with a double, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. So Kelder swinging the bat well. It's the first time Simmons has been on first base, so we have not seen him run yet. Fastball called strike on Kelder.
And so Venero taking his time, choosing a pitch to throw here to Kelder.
The 0-1 breaking ball called strike, and the count now quickly 0-2. Kelder did not like either of those calls, but he's going to have to protect now.
And here we go, Clay Simmons leading off first base. Not a huge lead over there. Doesn't want to take the bat out of Kelder's hands.
As Venero will step off. Stallions have already scored 2 runs this inning. They also scored 2 runs last inning. The 0-2 to Kelder, swing and a miss at a breaking ball low. So after taking 2 called strikes they did not like the call on, he has to chase, and Kelder very unhappy with that at bat. Still 2 for 4 on the day, though, with an RBI and a run score. So Kelder with a nice night, even with the strikeout there.
And so that'll bring up the center fielder, Connor Powers. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a pop out to the third baseman and a strikeout, but he did manage to get on base in his first at-bat with a walk.
Powers been playing a terrific center field tonight. Has robbed Mohawk Valley of some extra base hits and some runs scored, especially when Tim Zhang bombed one to the left center field warning track with the bases loaded and 2 away as Powers takes a fastball low there. And as you mentioned, Kurt, Powers with some tough shoes to fill, and Nick Campana, who was up in the top 10 in the league in a plethora of offensive categories, but Powers so far has been doing a great job coming off his injury. Here's the 1-0. Fastball low, and the count now 2-0. Stallions 2 runs this inning so far on 3 hits, 2 singles and a triple. Here's the 2-0 to Powers. Fastball called strike, and the count now 2-1. At the end of this half inning, we will be telling you who the winner of this terrific bucket hat is.
Absolutely. I quickly went over to one of our other interns, Doug, and had him make the count for the comment number. And I do have a winner. I'm not going to tell you who it is quite yet, but stay tuned, and we'll let you know after this half inning.
It's a 3-1 count now on Connor Powers. Tell you what, Kurt, I'm going to be very sad to take this bucket hat off. Even though you look like a homeless crocodile Dundee, I feel like I'm really rocking it.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you think that, Beeks, for sure.
That's only the 3rd walk of the year for Venaro in his 17 innings of work. So the Stallions bats look like they're getting to him tonight. And that'll bring up Pat LaGravenese. LaGravenese has reached in 7 straight at-bats. Tonight he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI.
And so that'll prompt a little mound visit. Not only a mound visit, but he's actually a call to the bullpen by the Diamond Dogs head coach, bringing in a lefty that was warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, it's going to be Levi Abrahamson, the 6-foot, 170-pounder. And he is from Mountain Home, Idaho, from Treasure Valley Community College, going into his redshirt junior season, as Levi actually looked like he was a lefty, but he's actually going to come in and throw from the right side. He was just carrying his glove on the other hand, so he fooled Kurt.
He is in fact a righty. Yeah, but Abrahamson been one of the better relievers here in his 8 appearances for the Diamond Dogs. He has thrown 11 1/3 innings, only given up 5 hits and no runs so far. 7 strikeouts, so only 4 walks, and no runs means a 0-0 ERA, Beeks.
That's pretty impressive math there, Kurt.
Yeah,
right off the top of your head.
Yeah, I'm not usually known for my math, but I can be a mathematician when needed. And so Abrahamson in to try and get this final out against the Stallions. And there's actually some comments I wanted to get to.
That's
and
right.
So we'll take this time to get to them. I like the conflicting messages here from Colleen Clayton and Catherine Davies. I'm not sure where it came from, but Colleen Clayton saying, "Just don't let him sing."
I tell you what, Colleen.
Almost immediately after, Catherine Davies saying, "Now they have to have him sing." And,
I really wish we got him to sing. Next time we get John Clayton in the booth, we promise you that he will be singing.
Yes, and sorry
to
Colleen, but we're going to take Catherine Davies' word for it. She's given us baked goods in the past.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to go with her.
That's right.
Also, Bob Napoleon saying, when does Kurt get to toe the rubber next? And for those of you who don't know, I am on the Stallions team now for when they need me, from broadcast booth into the bullpen. And only thrown 1 inning so far, but Bob, they said they possibly will need me tomorrow night for their game against Amsterdam in Amsterdam, or even possibly Sunday when they play the Albany Dutchmen. And so I could get on the mound very soon.
Bouncer to Mungie Rodriguez at short, and it'll be 1 pitch from Abrahamson to get out of the first and second jam. So that's the first time LaGravenese has been retired in his last 8 at-bats. But the Stallions do score 2 runs on 3 hits, and at the end of 8 full innings of play, Saugerties lead 7-1. We're heading to the top of the 9th inning. It's probably going to be Matt Pritchard time. We'll see if Tommy Whitaker sends him out with a 6-run lead, or if he's going to save him for save opportunities.
Yeah, they may have him ready to go, but I'm thinking they might possibly bring in somebody else. But either way, we were getting to those comments, but now it's time to get them to the most important comment of the night. It is the top of the 9th.
That's right, Kurt.
And as great as you look in that bucket hat, Beaks,
Kurt.
you are gonna have to give it away tonight, because
it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet to see it go.
I know, but we did say we'd give it to somebody, and that somebody is Diane Stones tonight, with her comment saying, "Stay strong, Stallions, win," with a lot of exclamation points. And Diane Stones here with a profile picture of a dog. I really hope that when you come to pick it up, it is in fact the same dog as in the profile picture. If you are a human, then I mean, I'm glad you won it regardless. But
I hope it's a puppy.
I really hope it's a puppy. Very cute puppy at that. And I'm very impressed that you can type so well with your paws. But so congratulations to Diane Stones. You get this lovely bucket hat for the Stallions free of charge. And we'll get in contact with you at some point after the game to see if you'd like to pick it up or if you'd like us to ship it to you. And so that's it for tonight. But thanks to everyone else who commented on this post. And definitely try again next time. We'll be doing this every home game, giving something away. And so after that, there's also a couple other comments I'd like to get to. Bob Napoleon saying, "Did Dutchman pay for the broken windshield?"
Oh, man, I wish they did.
Referring to my broken windshield that I had when we had to drive up to Siena College to play the Dutchman last Sunday, and I took a foul ball to the windshield that pretty much shattered it.
And then had to drive home with it.
And then I had to drive home with it. Couldn't see too well, but I did make it home, and then fortunately Safelite came and replaced it, and my insurance covered it free of charge, so I didn't have to pay a penny. And so the Dutchman did not pay for it, Bob, but I didn't pay for it either. So I guess we'll call it even. And fortunately, I do have a new windshield. I can now drive my car again.
It's going to be Matt Pichard in. Even though Tom Whitaker has a 6-run lead, he's taking no chances and going to his closer. So the 6'4", 230-pound righty from Brewer, Maine, and from the University of Maine, going into his sophomore season, will take the mound for Saugerties.
Yeah, and he got an inning of work last night against the Glens Falls Dragons. They were up 6-3 in the top of the 9th inning, and he came in to close it out and get the save. And Pichard, this will be his 15th appearance, and all of them in relief. He has thrown 16 innings so far for the Stallions, giving up 11 hits and 5 runs, and a very impressive strikeout-to-walk ratio, striking out 21 to only 7 walks. And he's 3-1 on the season. Excuse me, he is 0-0 on the season. Nope, 3-1 and 5 saves.
He's going to face a pinch hitter in Nico Ramos, who will come in for Austin Pollock, and it's a 1-1 count on Ramos after the fastball called strike and the fastball low.
And there's one last comment before we fully get back to baseball, but James Francis saying, we were watching the game and loving it. Thank you, James. And he says, my buddy Christopher wants to know if we can do a shout-out for the Easter Seals organization. They do so much for our children in need. I'm not exactly sure what the Easter Seals are, but it sounds like it's a great organization if you'd like to give us, if you're wanting us to give them a shout-out. So we will give the Easter Seals a shout-out. And if everybody could maybe look up to see what they are and get them some more exposure, that would be fantastic. Because, I mean, if James is willing to put himself out there and comment on this post, then they must be doing some good stuff.
It's a 1-2 count on Nico Ramos. Matt Pichard comes set and comes home. And it's a swing and a miss. Pichard gets a 4-pitch strikeout of the pinch hitter Ramos. And there's one away here in the 9th. That'll bring up the second baseman, Joe Engel. He's the 9-hitter. He's 2 for 3 on the night with a single, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. And looking up the Easter Seals, they are an organization that helps children with disabilities. So a terrific organization from the looks of it. So
yeah, and if
that's a great organization to shout out. Thank you for that, James.
Absolutely, giving them some exposure.
Fastball called strike to Engel. And the count 0-1. My dad, Dennis Gallis, says that hat would have been great for the beach at me. And I tell you what, that would have been. I got a little burned, but what can you do? I just came back from Dewey Beach, Delaware.
Yeah, missing last night's game to party it up at the beach. You really hate to see that out of one of your main broadcasters. Just no dedication. I
think I would have been girlfriendless if I did not go down to the beach for a couple of days with Lauren.
That's fair. You got to do what your lady says.
It's a 1-2 count on Joe Engel.
And here we go with 1 out and 2 strikes here on Engel. Psycho Shark is out. And he's hungry, prompting Matt Pichard to try and get a strikeout here and get the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs down to their final out of the game.
The 1-2, fastball fouled off, Engel able to spoil it. Joe having a great night tonight, as I mentioned, 2 for 3. Both of those hits were line drives to right field. Looks like he's seeing the ball very well.
And so a good job there by Engel, fouling that one off. Seeing another pitch here from Pichard.
Matt comes set. Here's another 1-2. Breaking ball hits him in the back. So Pichard tried to backdoor him, but ends up leaving it at the back. Doesn't hit the door, just hits him in the back.
This is pretty clever, Beeks.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Came up with
little wordplay going on here in the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth.
Came up with it on the spot. We're going to have another pinch hitter.
That's incredible. As
Alexis Mungie Rodriguez's night is done. He was 0 for 4 with a fly out to center, a line out to center, the fielder's choice to Pedersen up the middle, and then a pop out to Forlow at second. It's going to be Johnny Mayer, the 5'10" righty from Suffolk, Virginia, and coming from Norfolk State, going into his sophomore year.
Yeah, Mayer coming into this game batting 140 on the season through his 50 at-bats. And adding 8 runs and 5 RBIs to that line. Coming into face Bouchard with 1 out in the top of the 9th.
The two do have a history. Johnny Mayer was pinch hit to play against Bouchard the last time Mohawk Valley was here at Cantine, and Bouchard struck him out. As the 0-1 is a wild pitch that goes back to the backstop. So Joe Engel will trot on down to second base. He's now in scoring position with 1 away. As Rory Bisignano tunes in, and reminds me of a comment he had probably in one of the first 5 comments of the game, saying he was complimenting my beach wave hairdo.
Had to get to that. You couldn't let it go.
I couldn't let it go. Thanks, Rory, for that. I really worked on that. Brought it all the way back from Delaware.
Yeah, well, you're wearing the bucket hat, covering it all up.
1-1, Hopper to Forlow at second, who throws Meyer out at first, and Joe Engel will head on down to third, but Mohawk Valley down to their final out. It'll bring Luke Terwilliger. Terwilliger 1 for 4 on the night with an RBI double, as well as a strikeout, a ground out to Pedersen at short, and a fly out to Powers in center.
So, the man on third, Engel, not relevant right now, as the Stallions have a 6-run lead down to their final out here. Matt Bouchard looking to close the door, and a beautiful curveball by Bouchard.
Yeah, it looks like he really fooled Terwilliger on that one, who took his hop and kind of buckled his knees and was all smiles looking down at his third base coach after that one. Here's the 0-1. Fastball chop to second base. Forlow will take it on a couple hops and will throw over to first in time. So Bouchard comes in, hits one batter, strands one, but ends up getting the win for the Stallions as Saugerties win 7-1, extend the winning streak to 2 games, and take a big one from the team who's in second place in the East right now in Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, huge win for the Stallions. As we were saying before, prior to the All-Star break, Tuesday and Wednesday, the Stallions were on a 4-game losing skid, and then they rested up on the All-Star break and come back, and now they've won 2 straight against Glens Falls yesterday, and now 7-1 here against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, and a big win there as they're chasing after, well, they're currently in the 4th spot for the playoffs in the Eastern Division, and trying to keep ahead of the Utica Blue Sox and the Dragons for that final spot.
Yeah, Stallions improved to 17-20 on the year, and Mohawk Valley drops to 24-11. Stallions still 8 games behind Mohawk Valley, who is in second place. Amsterdam well ahead of everybody. They are still 11 games ahead of the Stallions in first, but Saugerties has a pretty secure lock on that 4th playoff spot, and getting their shoe in the door is the first thing they'll need, and then they'll need to take on the very dangerous Amsterdam Mohawks once they get there.
Yep, crazier things have happened. But until then, they need to keep winning games like this one. And so, awesome win for the Stallions tonight. And congratulations to Diane Stone, who won the bucket hat you currently see on Biko's head. It'll be yours very soon as I can pry it from Biko's head / hands.
May not happen.
And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that for you. But congratulations, we'll be getting in contact with you. And so that'll be it here for us tonight at Cantine Field. Rory Bisignano saying Biko Scala for president. That sounds like a disaster. And so
Thanks, Rory.
I just wanted to get that in there. Sounds terrible.
I think it'd be a fun time.
But that's it for us tonight. From Cantine Field, Stallions win at 7-1 against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. I am Curtis Jorgensen.
I'm Biko Scala for president.